And Brust alongside me in his Ben Wallace jersey worn backwards is Kyle Wallace. Say something, Kyle.
It's a Wallace Wednesday. This ain't no Ben Wallace. This is Kyle Wallace.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. How you gonna tell me what my jersey is?
What's the back of the jersey that's normally the front of the jersey?
Maybe I had it made.
Mr. 414 wouldn't be wearing a Detroit jersey if it was
It's
his.
not a Detroit. You can't tell. You can't see on
I
camera.
am reading the words Detroit
You
on
a
your
damn
back.
lie.
No, he's not.
You're a damn lie. You're not. You can't see that because my hair.
Yes, I can.
My hair is too long.
Okay, excuse me. I can see Roit, R-O-I-T.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Over here lying. Told you he was lying.
Hey, Stro, if I just look from the other side, I see Deet. So Deet and Roit. What does that spell? Detroit.
Lions fan, Kyle?
I'm a Kyle Wallace
Jets fan. Lions fan.
414 forever, baby.
It is a good touch having the Wallace across the breast, basically. Just saying, like, hey, you know what? This is who I am.
That's crazy.
I wear
Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up, who lost to Brandon McManus in that Super Bowl, who is now the new Green Bay Packers kicker. Any ill will towards Mr. Brandon?
Now that he's wearing the green and gold, no ill will. I got to get used to it. Did you know that his last postseason game, though, was
I
that
promise
Super
we
Bowl?
don't know whatever you're about to say.
Yeah, his
No, sorry, I don't have my Brandon McManus history book next to my nightstand.
Brandon McManus' last postseason game was Super Bowl 50.
I like
That
that
is-
you
What
led
was
that.
your last postseason game? I guess it was the
2017
Jaguars.
AFC.
Yeah, he got further.
Yeah?
He's played in a postseason game more recently than Brandon McManus. That's what you should have said.
Yeah, that's a better
like-
factoid.
My favorite part is that you led that with, did you guys know?
No, we didn't.
The answer's no.
Sorry, we don't. 800-990-3776. And if you are watching on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee or at ESPN Madison, you will see Kyle in his Wallace jersey. You will see Alex Strofe when he turns his camera on in, man, this is a one-of-a-kind jersey, folks. This is the Ben Brust worn Lithuanian Pieno Žvaigždės. You know how to say it?
that's what that
Piano Schwegstis.
Yeah, that's close. That's good.
What was your mascot for that team?
We were sponsored by the Dairy Factory.
Oh, that's very
in a
Wisconsin-ish.
town
I like
of
it.
6,000. So
Wow.
we were the Milk Stars. That is what
kidding.
that is what
Milk
Pieno
Stars.
Žvaigždės means. The
Milk
Milk
Stars.
Stars. You can see on my shooting shirt. So I'm wearing the shooting shirt that I'd wear warming up. Strophy has one of the jerseys that I wore in our games.
How many do you have?
Like 2 home, 2 road. That's
High
very
quality
simple.
material there, man.
Not really. It honestly, like, high school teams in the state of Wisconsin
Have
have
better.
better uniforms than we
So,
did.
Benny, we all know your affinity with Borat. What country is Borat from again?
He is from Kazakhstan.
How close is Kazakhstan to, where did you play again?
Lithuania.
Lithuania. I'm all turned around here.
Not as close as you would think.
Okay, but you use a similar accents when you say the name of the team again.
Well, Pieno Žvaigždės.
You sound like you're doing your Borat.
No, because if I was Borat, it's Pieno Žvaigždės.
Okay, got it.
It's a little bit different, Strophy. The Milk Stars, baby. Brad has no jersey on. He's too cool. We are all supporting Kyle Wallace's station 1017 The Truth. Is it his jersey day?
Yeah, 1017 Spirit Week. Like
Brad,
I forgot.
Brad hates Kyle's
I
work.
forgot.
That's fine.
I showed up
That's
and I was
okay.
like, that's right. It was
I have a
Jersey
couple
Day.
jerseys in my drawer.
I'll take 'em.
I might have to go get that.
I mean, this would have been a perfect day for you to wear a jersey because, like, you played not in Pennsweg, you played in Jacksonville.
That would have been.
in
where
North
would
Carolina.
have been played?
Pennsweg. We don't know what Pennsweg is, but we know what Charlotte is.
That
and
would-
Jacksonville.
That would have been in poor taste, though, right? For me to show up in a Nortman jersey.
No, not at
That'd
all.
been
It's-
weird.
You got to flex on these people.
I hear
sometimes.
you. I even feel a little bit weird being in my like shooting shirt from
Nobody knew what
Lithuania.
that was, Brandon. I had no idea what he was wearing. I
What-
didn't know
did you
if
call
he
me
was-
Brandon?
Ben. I was going to say
I
Brad,
am
but
not
Ben.
Brandon McManus. Keep his name out of your mouth calling me that.
I mean, it's fine. He's good. But
is he?
nobody knew what that was. I guarantee you, nobody knew what you were wearing.
Now, speaking of Brandon McManus, look, this is a big deal. Not a huge deal, but it's a big deal for the Green Bay Packers because I think we're all sick going back to Matt LaFleur accidentally telling Tom Rinaldi something that he used on the Fox broadcast, that he's saying a little prayer every time Anders Carlson would go out to kick a field goal, to now all of us saying prayers when Braden Narvison would trot his butt out there to kick a field goal for the Green Bay Packers. We all prayed whoever you prayed to that it would go through the uprights. He gone. He's officially cut. And after the tryout yesterday, Brandon McManus is now officially a Green Bay Packer. Now, with that being said, we talked about it a little bit yesterday about the history that Brandon McManus has had since he's been signed with the Washington Commanders, then since was dropped after there was allegations of sexual assault. He's been cleared by the NFL. He is free to go with a team. Whatever comes with that, I don't know. I'm not going to get into. What I do know is he is a kicker, a veteran kicker, and he is different than the type that Goody has loved, which is young free agents that have not proven anything. We know Brandon McManus has proven something, Brad.
Yeah, and this signing, it's not as big of a deal about changing your kicker. That is a big deal to help the Green Bay Packers win games, but more about what this says to me about where the Green Bay Packers are. It tells me two things. One, Goody sees this team as the team that can make a run right now. This is not a team for the future. This is not a team that we're trying to build, but this is something that we can win a Super Bowl. We can make a run right now. In order to do that, you can't wait for all of these young developed guys to try to get to where they need to be. You have to have guys that can perform. You have to have guys that can score points and do their jobs, and that means that these games and this season is too important to roll the dice and to let your kicker work his way through to his confidence. So that to me says one, about where they think this Green Bay Packer team is at. They hold it in high regards and they think that they're a team that can be reckoned with. That's one. Number two, as Ben said, there's a level of Goody has a type. He likes the kind of people he likes. When it comes to kickers, when it comes to players, he likes them young. He likes them fresh. He likes them cheap. He likes being able to develop these players over time. He is trying at all costs, to avoid signing anyone in their 30s. Think about that. I think Brandon McManus became the oldest player on the team. So this goes against, they didn't draft him, they didn't develop him. This goes against everything Goody would normally do, not to mention some of the history of McManus, which normally the Green Bay Packers wouldn't touch a guy like that. So Goody is even changing his philosophy, the Green Bay Packer philosophy, to figure out how to put this team in the best situation. So what it says to me is they want to win. They want to win now, and they're doing everything, including Goody changing his type to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, for me, overall, when I saw this, you guys already know, I was excited about the fact that this could potentially happen, about the fact that he could potentially sign with the Green Bay Packers. And once it happened, once the Packers decided that they were going to sign Brandon McManus, that to me was a message that they sent to the entire NFL that they are not effing around. Can I say that? I said it right.
They're not bleeping around.
Bleeping around. They're not. Thank you. They're not bleeping around. But more importantly, they're all in. They're completely all in for this season. And that's the thing that's most important for the Green Bay Packers, that they are absolutely all in. I understand. You might say it's a kicker. It's not that big of a deal. No, it is a huge deal that the Green Bay Packers signed this kicker, because what it shows the NFL is that if the Packers have a weakness, they're going to shore up the weakness. What it tells to me is that they ultimately believe that they are a true Super Bowl contender. We talked about it last year. Is the Packers Super Bowl window open? Is it this? Is it that? The Green Bay Packers Super Bowl window is open, and if we as fans, we as analysts thought that maybe it was open, Goody delivered a message to let everybody know that the Super Bowl window is wide open, and the Green Bay Packers did something they never did. I've been a Packer fan my whole life. Brad, you've been a Packer fan throughout your life. Ben, you've been a Packer fan for the last decade plus, right? And Stroke been a Packer fan his entire life. How often have we talked about the Packers making some type of move during the season to sign somebody that could be the top player available during the season, or trading for the top player available during the season? It's always, well, they came up short, or well,
they were in the mix.
Yeah, they're in the mix. They ain't in the mix. They made a move. So for me, this is a great first step. But now we need to know what is next for this Green Bay Packer football team, because the mentality inside that locker room, the mentality with that organization, that the time is now. We are all in on winning a Super Bowl title, and that's why every single Packer fan should be excited. Not just because we finally got a consistent kicker that we could probably depend on for this season, but more importantly, they are looking forward in a sense of what can we do to ensure a championship comes back home.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776. Kyle says that signing McManus tells you that this team is all in. Do you agree? I mean, because part of me does. Part of me still thinks there's a little bit more that this team needs to iron out. We'll definitely get to the defensive line and getting home with 4 consistently, because they've had to mix up blitzes and do different things, but like they have the makeup of a team that is capable of making a run. I think we could all, even with the record being 4-2, say that this team is better than last year's team. And last year's team was able to go on an incredible run to make the playoffs. So you're not even playing from behind anymore. Where I have to give credit to Goody right now is, although I still think it was a little bit late, but it all kind of worked out. You want to make different mistakes. Somebody on our airwaves said that about Edgerrin Cooper, right? Jason Wilde said that you want to make different mistakes, right? At first, it was a mistake that he made. He didn't make that one. He was young. He's going to make different mistakes. For Goody, last year, he made a mistake by not even bringing in competition throughout the year. Maybe that's how he viewed the team, as probably not a championship team, but we now have evidence that the start that they've had, even with Jordan Love getting hurt, finding a way to win 2 games with Malik Willis, Jordan Love stepping into form, the defense showing promise with takeaways and having an identity, right? I would say we've had an identity on defense, just not an identity anyone's proud of. But there's an identity of what you can expect from this team, and that's aggressiveness and takeaways. So not making the same mistake and bringing in different kickers and actually making a move is huge.
Yeah, and you want to compare Goody's mentality last year to this year. I mean, last year, Goody could have made a change at any moment.
Yeah.
Because they started to catch fire. But that told me a little bit like Goody didn't believe that team was the real deal to make a deep, true run last year.
Traded away Rasul Douglas, too.
It's right, traded away Rasul Douglas. And he said, we're going to be patient with Daniel Carlson. We're not going to make a change. There were plenty of other kickers available. He could have done the same thing at any point last year, but he chose not to. This year seems way more proactive, way more conservative.
They did bring a lot in as well, even if they weren't qualified to be the guy. He brought a lot of guys in at least.
He did. And what it's telling me is Goody is realizing this team has potential, realizing that everything is aligning, both offense, defense, and now special teams, which you got to have everything firing in order to make a Super Bowl run. And he's saying that I'm willing to do this year what I wasn't willing to do last year. And for this situation, that means cut your kicker, sign a new one. Even someone that goes against the normal formula for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it's a mentality shift. And the mentality shift that you were just talking about, it was a shift from last year, regardless of what Green Bay Packers were saying. They thought that would be a rebuilding year. They thought that they would take a step back. Now, we caught lightning in a bottle with Jordan Love, and he got extremely hot at the end of the season. The show did that football team finally came together, and those youngsters grew up and became, I would say, veterans at that point. And so he figured out last year, like, okay, yeah, we did all right. But now they know this year it means that we are on business. We are trying to win a championship. And so that's why, again, I believe that this is bigger than us signing a kicker. This shows you exactly what the Green Bay Packers are focused on. Last year, it was progression. This year, it's winning titles.
800-990-3776. Appleman, who's picking apples right now, says absolutely they're all in. They have not taken a chance on a player with questionable character in a long time. Mike in Manitowoc, 800-990-3776. You're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Fantastic.
Going good.
So I have 2 things. One about the kicker. I don't necessarily fault Goody for signing the kicker. I mean, what the heck, that's fine. But my other question is, if Narveson had the intangibles, strong leg, could do this, could do that, but he needed some, say, fine-tuning, why not hire a guy like Mason Crosby for the season and evaluate him, run him through his paces, see what's going on? The other thing, in regard to Max Crosby from the Raiders, since the Raiders already moved DavanteAdams, the last thing I want to see is the Lions make a play for Crosby. So why wouldn't the Packers be all in on doing something to get Max Crosby?
Thank you for the call, Mike. A couple things there. Narveson just wasn't it. I mean, there's no time to bring anyone in and coach him up, right? Like even Goody had said in the letting go of Narveson that he thinks he's going to be a good kicker in the league one day still. There ain't time for that. That's what Goody's saying. There's no time for that. There's no time for bringing in a consultant, whoever it may be. And in terms of Max Crosby, yeah, I mean, it feels a little video game-ish right now. It feels a little bit going against the grain of what Goody... Again, Goody's going against the grain right now, signing McManus. But what do you have to leverage to get a Max Crosby on this team right now? I don't know if he's willing with where they're at and how much he likes his assets to shift that. Again, this defense will be tested. We're going to see what they're made of, and maybe we'll look back. And if Max Crosby gets moved, we'll see the compensation. We'll be like, damn, they maybe could have done it. I just don't think the appetite for Goody to move on from assets makes sense with where this defense is playing right now.
Are you aware who the third highest paid defense in the NFL is?
Must be the Green Bay Packers.
It is the Green
all
Bay
them
Packers.
high-paid
And I was
dudes.
going to say, too, like the D-line is already 25+% of the cap. You're going to bring in Crosby and his contract and give up a draft pick, which Goody cooks at. I don't see it happening. You can't just go be that desperate. The pass rush has to take a step forward, but you can't do it by getting Max Crosby.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thought. I mean, it would be great if it was reality, but I think overall, the whole conversation talking about this defense, right? We talk about what's next. We saw what he did with doing with Brandon McManus. Could it be something like bringing in a Chase Young, bringing in somebody like Josh Allen from your Jaguars or something like that? But that is what we need to do. They definitely need to think what comes next.
800-990-3776. Kyle says getting McManus says this team is going all in. Do you agree? And if not, what do they need to do? 800-990-3776. What is the next thing this team needs to solve as we are on our way to New Orleans? Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Thing has ever happened to you from a breakup?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, no.
I don't want to talk about it.
You brought it, so I had to ask.
I ain't gonna put my old shorties on blast, but
Why not? They're old shows.
I've had some.
They're old shows.
My parents listen to this show. I don't want my parents to know the craziness that I've dealt with that they son been a part of.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry
Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two.
I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hauntingly good deals await you at the Kunis Auto Group's October Spooktacular Savings Event. There will be no tricks, only treats.
Trick or treat!
On the price you'll get on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Prices will be slashed at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealership. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC. All marked down with October Spooktacular Savings discounts and incentives, including their entire inventory of pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 on lot or online. There'll be dozens of spooktacular service specials and everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with any test drive in October, you'll be entered to win free gas for a year with drawings held every Friday throughout the month at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis dealerships in both Greenfield and Oak Creek. Halloween savings aren't just slashed, they're chainsawed at the Kunis Auto Group's October Spooktacular Savings Event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopkunis.com.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car, better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, Knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I am holding something in my right hand. You can see it on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. And if you can't see it, you're going to hear about it through the great work of our team at Good Karma Brands and ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. You, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776. Gotta make sure I get that right in the middle of the stream. This is titled The Autobiography of Ben Brust, and it was made at 11 years old, which is 5th grade. So for context, when you hear some of these things, this is writing from a 5th grader. Now, how this came into our lives is very interesting because to kick off the NFL season for the Green Bay Packers, we did a remote broadcast in my backyard. I very graciously invited Kyle, Brad, Tony Cartagena, the executive producer of the Analysis Show, into my home. And as I took him into the basement, as Brad was judging the size of my home, because it's like 1/100th of the size of his Nortman estate.
Why he wasn't allowed at my house warming.
It was a little small, a little snug.
And you got a little handsy with things that aren't yours.
Yeah, it was a weird moment. Usually I'm very respectful, and usually I'm just, look with my eyes, not with my hands when it comes to people's personal property. And whatever it was, we were in like the cellar area, not like the man cave of Ben Brust's basement, but like the storage area. And I just saw this book, and I just had to grab it. I had to page through it. It was a lapse of judgment, but boy, oh boy, am I glad that I found the treasures within, because I started paging through. My mind was it became scrambled eggs, trying to think about what Ben Brust how he was trying to express himself at 11 years old. Some troubling, shocking things in there.
So with that, Alex Strofe, apparently, not to my knowledge, there was somebody took my autobiography and you did something with it.
Wow, they stole it? And can I comment on the cover? I mean, you must have put in
beautiful.
More time in the cover than you did actually writing it out, because that is the
artwork is way better than the writing.
For our radio audience, essentially, it is a rectangular version of a rainbow that works itself in, right? So it is large rectangles of red, then orange, then yellow, then green, then blue, then purple, then it repeats all until it's a tiny circle in the middle.
All the way around my cute little picture.
Which is taped with a picture of Ben Brust wearing a backwards Chicago Bulls snapback that looks very 1990s.
Yes, I mean, I was born in the 90s, Trophy. Without further ado, can we hear one of the excerpts from the autobiography?
And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 3, I am sure I had a great time. I always sucked on my 3 fingers and couldn't leave my blankie alone. Everywhere I went, it went. Later that year, my family and I took a trip to Arizona. On the plane, since I was so bored, I took my blankie out and slept with it.
What? What a year. What a year for Ben Brust.
Well, you were how old? You were 3?
3.
I feel like this is a made-up story. But
sucked on your 3 fingers. What fingers are we talking about?
The middle 3.
So
you do them all at once?
Yeah, all at once. Just tack those things.
You were different. Very different.
It's so funny because it felt like each paragraph is supposed to be a summation of the entire year of his life.
Well, let me finish off the end of the paragraph. I always walked around barefoot. I walked on my tiptoes all the time and still do. I think if I was 3 right
do that now,
I would be having the greatest time.
What? So this is supposed to be your autobiography, and this is what you chose to talk about.
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade. Sucking on your fingers on a plane. I feel like it's a common theme for Ben Brust.
He sucked on his fingers and traveled everywhere with his blanket. He still has his blanket.
Yeah,
no doubt he still
It's in
has it.
storage, yeah.
Yeah. Ain't nobody
Say a
gives us
safe
blanket.
place.
Yeah.
Define in storage.
In a box.
Where?
In my basement.
Yeah.
Describe the blanket.
So it's in your house.
It's dinosaur themed. It's white, very baby blue, baby yellowish, like very soft, cute colors that I would snuggle up with.
Wow.
You ever going to break that puppy back out?
Maybe I'd give it to my daughter.
Yeah, give it to baby girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Why?
It's got to be pretty gross.
No, it could be
No, it's a baby
clean.
blanket that I slept way too long with till like 8th grade.
Yeah, but you're sucking on your fingers. You're grabbing that too.
We're the same bloodline.
Yeah, but that
she sticks her hand in my mouth all the time.
I'm just saying, like that could like just get gross.
Man, give her
over
the blanket.
time.
That's a
little
legacy.
Stale.
It could, listen,
This is my lineage.
Exactly, it is your lineage. It's a good lineage. It always is a good lineage since the Adams. And so really that blanket gets passed down. But honestly, Ben, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't know why in the world you would write about that. Is the biggest memory that you wanted to make and talk about for school.
That's not it. That was just when I was 3.
But but when you were three fingers in your mouth, that's it? That's the most memorable thing that you could recall?
I went to
from being
Arizona.
Okay.
Nothing about Arizona. Just sucking on the fingers and traveling with the blanket.
Guys,
walking with no shoes on.
You know my memory, isn't great as is. So why did you think when 11-year-old Ben Brust was writing this autobiography that I'd have a great memory then too? I would like to hear another excerpt. Am I saying that word right?
Yeah, excerpt.
Yeah, sure.
Excerpt, if possible. Alex Strofe, do you have one ready? Here it is.
And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
I was 2 and had many adventures up ahead of me. When I was walking around, I tripped and hit my head on the fireplace and chipped my 2 front teeth. My parents rushed me to get help right away. When I was fine later on, I started eating popsicles, and then I loved them. While I was snacking on that, I would watch Thomas the Tank Engine. I still sleep with the Thomas the Tank Engine blanket. When watching that, I changed the channel to Winnie the Pooh, and I loved him more than Thomas. I had a lot of fun times when I was 2.
So I know they're all lies.
Wow.
No. What do you mean lie? This is my autobiography.
Are you calling into question facts about Ben's life?
Yeah, it is not. It's fiction. You know,
this isn't fiction.
It's a fictional depiction of your autobiography. It absolutely is. So you're talking about Winnie the Pooh and
Thomas the
Tank Engine, and the blanket. And I don't know. Again, I just find
I slept with that Thomas the Tank Engine blanket. It was like a comforter in high school.
You did not.
Yes, and it was when it was falling apart. I put a clothespin in it.
But wait a minute,
to make sure the cotton didn't fall out.
2 years old, you're like 2 or 3 feet tall, and then you became 6 foot tall. How you possibly sleep with the same comforter?
It wasn't like the main comforter. It was just kind of like one that
it was there. It was comfortable.
Yeah, it was.
I get it. I had a blankie growing up.
And when you slept with it at age 2, you'd still sleep with it at age 16?
It's around.
No.
Yeah, it's just around.
Dennis asked, why are some women narrating this? Because we have some former teachers that wanted to participate in helping relive their old past lives as teachers.
You know, when they have characters like in the Rugrats, the children in the Rugrats, a lot of them were voiced by women. So we're trying to bring out the voice of a young Ben Brust, and because I'm sure he probably sounded a little bit more girlish as a child. Before puberty.
Well, no,
we do.
No
that.
doubt.
Yeah, we do.
You do.
I remember picking up the phone vividly. Hello? Hey, Courtney, it's your friend. Oh, this is Ben. Let me look at my sister.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Till I went through puberty.
Got to drop, baby.
What's the next thing the Packers need to solve? Holy cow, we're late. That went fast.
We're not that late.
I mean, I can't get into a full conversation about what the Packers need to solve.
You could tease it for next segment, though.
Well, I'm gonna do a read option here with you. We're either going to solve the Packers' next problem since they solved the kicker situation, or we get to hear from Alex Strofe becoming relevant.
I'm going to defer. Let's solve some problems together. My number one strength, we do the Strength Finders test here at Good Karma Brands. My number one strength is restorative, which means I'm a good problem solver. So I'd love to help you solve the Packers' problems, Benny.
Let's do it. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
And make sure everyone's tuning in when we do this, because y'all's faces are going to be like,
it better be sweet.
If you think I'm going to act act like that for oatmeal. You're outside your damn
You've never
mind.
had Brad Nortman's oatmeal.
It's not
Yeah, but I've
Quaker,
also
is
had
it?
chocolate chip pancakes with butter
organic.
and syrup that make me go, oh, baby, oatmeal ain't going to do that.
You'll be surprised. I'm going to do a variety.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit ZBart.com for more information.
2 touchdown catches from Romeo Doubs in his return from suspension, plus touchdowns for Jaden Reed and Christian Watson as Jordan Love leads the Packers to a 34-13 victory at home over the Arizona Cardinals. Here's Jordan Love after the win.
We just got to keep building upon it, build off this win, off this performance, and go back, handle business this week through our practice. And, we got a really good team coming in here next week. So definitely got to build on this momentum and, keep this rhythm going we got.
Packers, by the way, on defense recovered 3 fumbles as well.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Sometimes when you hear a radio ad like this one, you think, yeah, maybe I should look into this. But you never do. Hi, Andy Haver here, owner of Progress Manufacturing in West Bend. Like many of you, I've heard radio ads for QC Kinetics. So I finally went to check them out because I've had chronic bursitis in my elbow for many years. I got cortisone shots, but those quickly stopped working. My doctor told me that the only solution for my bursitis was surgery. After my initial free consultation, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics designed a treatment plan specific for me. I'm really happy I went because QC Kinetics helped me be pain-free with no drugs, surgery, or downtime, and their entire staff was friendly and made me feel comfortable. My only regret is that I didn't call them sooner. Lasting joint pain is just a phone call away. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474 with locations in Mequon and Greenfield.
It's the regular season finale on Friday night. The Crusaders take on Waukesha South.
4th and 2, Tobias Lopez takes the handoff, cuts through the middle. Not only the first down, he's into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30 on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
A fall football Sunday in Green Bay. It just doesn't get much better. And Ticket King is the place to get you there this Sunday to see the green and gold. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to buy Green Bay tickets. Experience a fall football in Green Bay by visiting theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Follow Ticket King on Facebook and Instagram. Find tickets for Sunday's big matchup with Houston at theticketking.com.
Calling all green and gold fans. Ditch the stress and ride in style to Green Bay with the Milwaukee Broad House. With round-trip rides starting at $85 per person to every home game, you can enjoy all you can drink on the bus. No need to worry about traffic or parking. Milwaukee Broad House even has a private restroom on board. Upgrade your experience with an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate package for $30 more. Don't miss out. Secure your seat now at MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com. Let's make every game day legendary.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
Later on that year, I tried out for travel soccer, and I made the best team. I was also the youngest player on the team. After every game, when it was my day for snacks, I would bring in Skittles because they were my favorite candy.
Something wrong with you.
What do you mean?
You just wanted to be the coolest kid on the block on that year.
Who didn't want to be cool?
No.
But you're like, oh, I made the best team. I was the youngest. And if y'all don't like me enough already,
I brought Skittles.
Yeah,
Cool.
nothing
Skittles.
has changed. Nothing has changed. You're a shiner. You know what a shiner is? That's somebody who always wants to be front and center, always wants to brag about themselves. Oh, I made the best soccer team out there that I'm sure didn't win the state tournament year after year. I made the best. What are you looking at me for like that? Did y'all win the state tournament every single year?
We sure did.
Oh, then you did
No
make the
way.
best soccer team.
I just made that
Oh,
up.
look at you lying. You made an average soccer team.
Were you even good at soccer?
Yes, I really was.
He inflates. I don't know what to believe. You're an inflator.
You can ask my brother who played college soccer.
That means nothing to me. He may inflate too. Who knows? The Brust like
can't trust the Brust.
You can't.
You can ask the other guy in my family who is much better at the thing I'm claiming to be good at.
That's what I'm saying. He would be somebody who could actually give a valid opinion as someone who played professional indoor soccer.
I don't know. Based off the Brust family that I know, the Brust family could be very, very great people because I think you're all very nice. But based off
I love the Brust.
Based on what I know about Mr. Jonathan Brust, and I'm not talking about John. I'm talking about Jonathan.
I don't declare him as family.
Oh, yes, you do. The way he calls into the show, though, I kicked it with him in Madison. The way he is, I can't trust nothing that come out of y'all mouth because I know he likes
that
to play.
excerpt.
The Bears are good. Huh.
The excerpt. That excerpt.
I think it's SERP.
The excerpt.
There it is.
From my
Oh my gosh.
From my autobiography in 5th grade.
He can't even say words straight. I know for dang.
Well, I just listened to myself.
Is it sad
from 5th grade?
Is it sad that his writing skills were better when he was 11 than they are when he's 34?
Ain't no way.
It's a bit more.
You should see my emails.
Bro, he can't write. And he can barely speak. And he works in radio.
I feel like I'm actually semi-impressed with like the thought process. It's the content of which, like your autobiography.
You're impressed with the content?
Well, like, no,
that's a red flag.
The structure of it. You're trying to like set yourself up. Like I get what you're trying to do.
Simple, Brad.
You're trying to sound cool. You're trying
like
to deliver a certain message.
Everything he says is simple. When I was 11, I made the soccer team. Period. And I was the youngest player on the team, period, and I brought them all Skittles, period. Yay! Everything is so simple and basic. I'm telling you. I bet you the teachers, they always talk about, yeah, I got Ben Brust in here. Now, you know Ben Brust. Be patient with him now. Be patient with
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, and Alex Strofe running the show. Yes, Mr. Strofe.
It's just a good point by Kyle because my mother was a second grade teacher for over 30 years. Up in Northeast Wisconsin.
She'd fail me in 2nd grade.
Well, and they had meetings usually at the end of the year where they'd be like, yeah, so this kid is the one to keep an eye on that's going to be in your class next year. Brust was on that list every year.
100%.
Well, and the thing is, 11 years old is actually pretty old.
This crazy kid is going at other classmates with scissors.
Yeah, this isn't a 3rd grade
True story.
autobiography.
I did not put the cutting scissors incident in the autobiography.
I feel like that's a defining moment in your life.
It is. It's one of my first memories. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, UKBN Nation 800-990-3776. I got you pizzas, and you lost your pizza coupon. But with the Packers signing Brandon McManus, I love the Goody putting his foot down, saying, I'm done with the nonsense. We're signing a veteran who's done it before, and you all, even if you don't believe it right now, will feel more confidence every time Brandon McManus steps on the field than you did with Anders Carlson, Braden Narvison, or anything that you saw from Greg Joseph in waiting to hear the results of whatever happened in training camp. Now, with that, this team is ascending. This team has a great opportunity to string together a nice, solid victory that would be very well received by the national media, by all Packers fans. If they're able to get by the Houston Texans, then they play at the Jacksonville Jaguars. But there's still the question of the pass rush. And it's fine. If you have something else you think this Packers team needs to solve, please let me know. 800-990-3776. But it's the pass rush because I think we all are enjoying what Jeff Hafley did last game, containing Kyler Murray. He learned from his mistake that Kyle was mad about in the first half against the Vikings of not bringing pressure, trying to rush forward. It didn't work, and then changed in the second half, but it was too late. They brought pressure. They did different things. But we heard from Brian Bulaga yesterday, or Mark Tauscher the other day. Both guys told you need to be able to get home with 4. Otherwise, the really good offenses will carve your bottom up.
And this will be a weekend where that will happen if you don't get that pass rush, because CJ Stroud is an elite passer. He's athletic enough to make you pay. And if you are sending blitzes all the time, you will find yourself unmanned in the back part of the secondary, and they're going to find the open man. They are so smart. They're so fast. They can audible out of it, and they will cook you. So if the Green Bay Packers front four, and I'm looking at Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, then who's ever filling out that other middle part, Devontae Wyatt, TJ Slayton, whoever else it is, they need to play.
Carl Brooks.
Or Carl Brooks even. I'm not even declaring they need to play to a Pro Bowl level that their contract is. Because let's be honest, they're all making big money. They're a huge, outsized amount of the cap for the whole team. I'm not saying that group needs to go play at Pro Bowl levels. They need to play even just to a middle of the pack type level, right? Because if you look at their prior stats of Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, and Kenny Clark, those are the guys who you are paying and who need to get after the quarterback. Look, none of them would ever get double-digit sacks consistently, but they are playing even below their high single-digit stats or sacks that they would normally get in any given year. So they just need to play even close, somewhere within the realm of their former selves, and this defense will be okay. So that's a very minimum standard that should be expected, because if they don't, and if you keep on playing how you're going to be playing, this defense is going to get cooked by the good teams like this weekend. I mean, this is like a chef in the kitchen. A chef in the kitchen that you've got multiple pans on the stove, and you're always focused on the one that needs to get dealt with right away, right? The one that's boiling over. That was the kicker. So now that pot has been taken off the stove and taken care of. You can force your attention elsewhere. The next pot that's boiling over, that's the D-line. It's got to get fixed. That's on Jeff Hafley. That's on the D-line coach to get these guys playing even close to their contractual level.
See, overall, I do think, obviously, the defensive line is something that we need to get better at, right? But I feel like that's a lot of work, because you're talking about, as a unit, you want to get more consistency out of about 7 different guys. And so that's something that hopefully they can coach it up, but that's tough. So my focus is going to be on this. The Green Bay Packers, in order for Ben, like he said, how can they be more successful? How can they take that next step? And when I look at this defense, that back 7 that we have, or I shouldn't say back 7, but back 5 they typically have, defensive backcourt, great. They are great. I feel like once Jair is consistently healthy and playing in every single game, you already know Evan Williams and X are the best 2 safeties in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus, which is fantastic based off their grades. So with that being said, we know the D-line's an issue. But the other issue is Quay Walker. You got to be able to solve the Quay Walker issue, because overall we feel like Quay has the potential. He's fast. He's strong. He can fly around. He flies around with a purpose. He just lacks having the execution when he flies around. Too often when we see him in coverage, he's getting beat in coverage. He's not in the right spot. Too many times he's not able to shed blocks. Too many times when he's playing downhill, he's not always making the play. Now, again, Quay Walker makes a lot of tackles. He makes a lot of plays, but he also has a lot of negative plays as well. So if the Green Bay Packers can find a way to put Quay in a position to be successful, that makes this team that much better in the run. Like, we don't want to see Quay Walker going downhill where he has somebody mano-a-mano in the hole and he gets juked out his shoes. You need somebody that can finish that play, somebody who can make plays behind the line of scrimmage. That's what you need out of that linebacker position. And we right now, the best linebacker I think we have on this football team is a guy that just got here in Edgerrin Cooper. He's somebody,
and he's learning and developing, which is what you want him to do. Yeah, with alongside somebody who's a little bit more polished after being drafted in the mid to late first round. Like, yeah, exactly, where you got Quay Walker. So again, I ask 800-990-3776 after this kicker position is solved. I'll put a little air quotes because there is still a little unknown, but I do have more confidence. What is next for this Green Bay Packers team to solve? Brad says the defensive line. Kyle says Quay Walker. And I will continue to say the defensive line. I don't need to try and recreate something when I have experts on our airwaves talk about how important it is. If we, as a show, are handing out beads to go to New Orleans, the best teams in the NFL are able to get home with 4. And I actually disagree with Kyle. The fact that they have 7 guys and the fact that they've invested that much, whether it's draft picks or money, means you have opportunity, no matter who's getting paid what, to find who's going to be the most productive and get those guys out there whenever you need the most production.
Maybe, just maybe, Rashawn Gary ain't what we thought he was. Maybe, just maybe, Kenny Clark is exactly who we probably have seen out of him, right? Maybe Lucas Van Ness wasn't the best draft pick in the first round. Like, we don't know. I understand that the D-line needs to be improved. I get that. I'm a fan of making sure that we're putting them in a better position to be successful. But if Quay Walker played like an absolute monster, if Quay Walker made more positive plays downfield, downhill for this Green Bay Packer football team, we wouldn't be talking as bad about this front four that we have and a lack of consistency. If Quay Walker was a better linebacker inside, this defense would be that much better because he can help be the difference in the run defense.
I agree that Quay Walker seems like he's just sort of out there without any regard for what's happening. Right? He's clearly physically capable, but Edgerrin Cooper has sort of a IQ of the game that allows him to be in the right place at the right time. But those guys would be helped out a lot if the D-line did more of their job too, whether it be in the run game, they're holding up blocks so they can go shed and make tackles easier, or in coverage if the D-line is getting to the quarterback. So if you look at these guys and say, there shouldn't be a question of if they can play. They've been on the Packers for years. I mean, these guys are paid good money.
We are raising questions because they've been on the Packers for years,
right.
And that's the scary part.
And that is the scary part. And if you look at them, and we've heard Balaga, we've heard Tausch, we've say they can't win their one-on-one battles, then it's on Jeff Hafley to scheme up twists and movement and things like that along the defensive line to help them get home. If they can't win one-on-ones against the tackles, then you have to have the D tackles go one way. You have to have the D ends wrap around. You have to do so many more complicated things to make it happen because the level of production just isn't acceptable if you want to be a Super Bowl team.
800-990-3776. Sean and Beaver Dam, you're up. Outside of the kicker position being solved, allegedly now, what do you feel as if the Packers need to solve in order to get to New Orleans?
I agree with that, allegedly. I mean, since Crosby left, we haven't had any consistency. But I do. I called in last week. We were talking about that defensive line and all that money that's been given to them. Obviously, that's a key thing. But another point that I really think that is going to help galvanize these guys and get back on the trail that we were at the end of last year when we ripped off all those games, and is the fact that I was so proud of the receivers after Dobbs caught that touchdown pass to come over, and everybody, Jake Reed, everybody was right there, just congratulating them and hugging them. And it was like, okay, because of that we talked about that selfish trait that can creep in when the contract years are coming up. And it just kind of gave that feeling again that, okay, this could be righted and we're back on the right track. So, I think that's a key thing to continue to watch, but that's my point.
Yeah, we appreciate the call, Sean. 800-990-3776. Like I said from the beginning as it pertains to Romeo Dobbs, actions over words. And he went out there. He was professional. He caught 2 touchdown passes. It's continuing to show your teammates who you're going to be and continuously, despite whatever's going on, trying to perform at your best because that is what you are paid to do. Brad, tell us how you watch the games because usually you're cuddling. Usually you're having something in your hand and tri-tasking while watching these games.
Yeah, every time I watch these football games, it's always accompanied with a carbless. A carbless is my go-to drink, ready-to-drink cocktail that, throughout this fall, it is right in my hand, cold, ready to be drank as I'm watching all these wonderful sporting events, whether it be my alma mater, they're green and gold. It's always an opportunity for a carbless, and this fall is no different. It's everything I love when I'm looking to kick back, relax, and have myself a beverage, whether it be all the flavors that are out there. There is truly something for everyone. I'm not going to lie, I kind of like them all. Margarita is my favorite, but I love all the other different types of classic cocktails like Paloma and Mojito. There's the fruit flavors like lemon, lime, and black raspberry. And oh boy, that margarita pack. I don't care if the weather is getting a little cold. Feels like I'm going right back to summer when I taste the margarita 4-pack. And not only that, man, it's a guilt-free experience. No carbs, just like the name says. No sugar, 100 calories per can. And gluten-free, less carbonation, leading to less bloat. I mean, it is the absolute perfect amount of carbonation. Not too much, not too little. Perfect, just like carbless is across the board. When you're going through your grocery aisle and you see that carbless package right there, I want you to go ahead and pick one up and drink it, just like I am during all these wonderful football games. Less is more. Get yourself a carbless.
Speaking of cuddling, Brad Nortman's got a problem in his marriage. I'll tell you about it next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Ben, I've been a fan of you since Scalzo and Brust was on the air. You kind of like a Pat McAfee for the ESPN Milwaukee. You kind of revolutionized this channel and stuff.
Leo, I'm here for you, and I appreciate everything you say. We love you listening, and you can call in every day and say that. I won't get old.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sweetest Day is coming up, and ESPN Milwaukee wants to make sure you're equipped to make someone special in your life extra happy with the Welkie Sweetest Day giveaway. From now through October 17th, head to WelkieSweetestDay.com to register for your chance to win a Sweetest Day prize pack, a bouquet of flowers from Welkie's Milwaukee Florist, a $100 Pfister gift card, and a one-night stay at the Pfister. All of that could be yours to share with the sweetest one. For full contest details, that's WelkieSweetestDay.com.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. I love this time of year. Playoff baseball, the start of hoop season, and of course, football. I'm all about watching the action on the gridiron with a carbless in my hand. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails with no malt, no carbs, and no sugar. Vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, black raspberry, and lemon lime, and classic cocktail flavors like Paloma or Margarita. Find Carbless at your local grocer and enjoy game day. Carbless. Less is more.
The 23rd annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Pfister Hotel. The program will feature a presentation with Code Baby CEO Nori Daroga and elementary students, dinner and a voice auction. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp STEAM-based education programs to thousands of K-3 through 5th graders and educators across the Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine areas. Find tickets to October 30th's A Novel event at sharpliteracy.org.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly.
Oh my gosh, she's doing
Her parents? Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, watch out.
But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score, too. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 7 to 15-ounce selected varieties Rana pasta or sauce, $3.99. 64-ounce selected varieties Sunny Delight, 2 for $3. 64-ounce or 8-pack selected varieties Juicy Juice, 2 for $6. 6 to 12-count selected varieties Ice Mountain Spring Water, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
This is Kevin Van Rossum, president of 3 Tree Marketing. Send gifts to appreciate anyone, anywhere, anytime with a gift of your choice by using our gifting solutions technology. Our team handles it all, from concepting, site creation, as well as production of branded products. Elevate your brand's connection to its consumers by creating the ultimate gifting experience with us. Make the art of gifting effortless for yourself. At 3 Tree Marketing, we chase partners, not orders. Visit 3treemarketing.com to see what we can do for you.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 6, I had tried some new things for the first time. When I was in Florida, I lost my 2 front teeth, and I screamed because I was scared that it would hurt. When I came home from Florida, my cousin asked me to go to Kentucky with him. When I was there, I went horseback riding for the first time, and I also tried to water ski, but every time I fell. I had a fun time on every vacation, and I had the best time when I was 6.
What a life from the autobiography of Ben Brust. Right here in my hand on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison. You can see what it was like when I was 6. I had a great time when I was 6.
It made no sense.
No, but it makes sense, right? It made no sense, but it makes sense.
Make it make sense, Kyle.
Because Ben can barely put a thought together now, and clearly at this point, all those random thoughts that did not connect, he was telling 20 different stories in one little story that he had there on one page, and that's why Ben, when he talks sometimes, he forgets what he's doing or he says the wrong word because he has no idea how to put a full thought together.
I think you're right, Kyle, because
for real.
You're creating,
wait, no, you agree?
You're creating this narrative at 6 years old that, like, I went on these trips, but I was scared to lose my teeth. I kept on falling water skiing, but I had a great year. It made no sense.
It did.
You totally redirected. It's like you were writing it out, and you're like, I just got to end this.
He
I had
went
a great
from
time.
teeth to my cousin in Kentucky. I'm trying to see how that transition went from one thing to another. You didn't say I lost my
Don't try and get inside the brilliance of this mind.
No, not brilliance. It ain't brilliance. It's something else. But I'm telling you this right now. The fact that you didn't know how to transition from, hey, I lost my 2 front teeth on a trip, and while we were traveling to Kentucky, I met up with my cousin, and I told him about how I lost my 2 front teeth. It's just random thoughts. It's blurt, 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 blurt.
We didn't even hear how it actually was losing the first 2 teeth. He said he lost them. I was scared it would hurt. Well, did it hurt?
Listen, you are a walking miracle. You are a walking miracle, because to know that you went from that.
A walking miracle.
I'm telling you, it's becoming stronger and stronger with the fact that you are a walking miracle.
I mean,
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, I got into Stanford. How crazy is that?
At all.
Man.
I mean,
thank God you could shoot ball through hoop.
That probably made a lot of sense to baby Ben Brust.
It probably says it in the damn autobiography. I shoot ball through hoop.
I shoot ball through hoop. I made it. I had fun.
I had the best time when I was 7. I had the best time when I was 21.
Real quick. In this autobiography, I'm just going to lead the last sentence. That year when I was 1, I was growing up quickly and learning new things every day. I had a lot of fun times when I was 2. I think if I was 3 right now, I'd be having the greatest time. Being 4 was probably one of the best times of my life.
Oh, wow.
I sure had the greatest time in my life back then. I had the best time when I was 6.
How old are you now?
33.
All right.
Even though my grandma passed away when I was 8, I had a great time.
Whoa.
Wow.
Maybe we'll get to that one later.
My goodness, Ben. Oh, my grandma passed away, but I had a great time.
It was a great year.
Ben, now you've got 32 of these in the book. Which one was the best? When did you have the best time?
I say, since we're going to get to the 3 o'clock hour next in 2 minutes, I think we leave everyone with the money signs clip. Because, yes, trust me, Strofe. Why don't you trust me?
Because I only have 5 left, and I want to stretch these until the end of the show.
I want to hear the money sign.
Play the money sign.
Because he
trust
gets stupider.
Me.
And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 11, which I still am, a sad thing happened. First, I got to go to the Bahamas with my mom's side of the family. We stayed at Atlantis, and we had a great time. After vacation, Mr. Hannon, who was the assistant principal at Hersey, died. He really admired me and my brother and was gonna wait for me to come to Hersey High School. After he died, my travel basketball team ended the year with a 34-5 record. I'm still alive.
I'm still alive!
Oh my gosh!
Thank you for the clarification.
That is a wild ride.
That is sick. That is a 6 paragraph right there.
What do you mean sick?
No, it's just a lot.
You're dancing on your assistant principal's grave. I'm alive.
Who, by the way, he was only trying to stay alive and survive, not because his family wanted him and be there around him. It was because he wanted to see Ben Brust.
Yeah, he only wanted to stay alive because he wanted me to be at the high school when he was there. I mean, he was fighting for his life to see me.
He admired you. He admired an 11-year-old.
Yes,
Why
sir.
would he not? An 11-year-old who could barely spell or read or write, but he admired you.
It's all about Benny Brust, right? The record, right? 31-5.
Josh from Hart. No, and he said 34-5.
94.5 ESPN is where we are at, along 100.5 ESPN, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, 800-990-3776. Josh and Heartland chimes in. If Ben had to do the Billy Madison, how far do you think he'd get? And if you haven't seen Billy Madison, he goes back to school, first grade through senior year.
After vacation, Mr. Hannon, who was the assistant principal at Hersey, died.
Why did I write it like that?
I don't know. It must have really left a wound, Ben.
He was waiting for him to go to school.
The thing is...
Love and football. Wow, that was awful. The sports cards and more. It gets better year after year. Wow, the dark side of @Ben Brust from Mad City Brew.
The thing is... Ben wrote that in real time. He was 11 writing that. He says, when I was 11, which I still am, and he is just leaning into the death of this principal and then just doing pivots left and right about all the positive things in his life. Very strange.
I'm still alive.
You know what young Ben Brust did not know?
That's called gratitude.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, appreciation.
No, it wasn't. I'm happy I'm still alive. It was just the blanket statement. Yeah. I am still alive while I write this autobiography.
Yeah, it was a shot at the dead man. But
no, it wasn't.
It definitely
Felt
was.
like it.
It was.
Felt like
but
it.
Did it read like that?
It reads like you're dancing on Hannon's grave.
Hey,
because I believe
R.I.P. Hannon.
Is there a period?
Do you remember him?
Yes.
Ben, is there a period or exclamation mark?
Exclamation point.
See, okay, yeah, you're dancing.
Did he actually admire you?
In my brain, he did.
You know what? You know what he was doing. What you thought was admiration. He was just preparing him and his staff for the fact. Well, okay, now we done went through the other two Brust boys. The Brust girl was fine, but this last one coming, he's a little terror. He's a little slow. So we gonna have to figure him out. Get prepared for him.
We're back in 2 minutes. Kyle has a syllabus week for the Green Bay Packers defense, and it's going to be tough. We're going to learn a lot about this D, and I know everybody right now and their mother wants Max Crosby. Can we all be on the record that it's not going to happen?
Definitely not happening.
Kyle?
Yeah, it'll be a surprise for me. Something should happen, though.
Strofe? I mean, you got to talk or hit a button. All right.
He doesn't sound too confident. He sounds like maybe there might be a chance.
He kind of did a shrug.
Is there a chance, Strofe?
This is your fan brain, and that's okay.
Yeah, my fan brain.
Every fan brain would want Max Crosby.
It doesn't make sense. If they can make it make sense, I'm for it. Right?
Absolutely.
But
he is a game wrecker. The Packers don't have a frontline game wrecker.
But why do you pay Rashawn Gary to be a game wrecker?
You made a mistake.
Yeah, but
mistakes happen.
But
you're stuck. You are
Nobody
stuck.
else is going to want him.
Nobody else.
I mean, maybe. I don't. Yeah, not that contract.
No one wants him.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes, we discuss if this Green Bay Packers defense is going to be legit over the next 5 weeks.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
What does the skeleton say before dinner? A bon appetit. And why did the ghost go to the bar? For the booze. Yeah, Halloween jokes can be corny. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've provided the most spooktacular selection and savings in town. From skull-shaped vodka bottles and pumpkin cream liqueurs to adult trick-or-treat bags and your favorite seasonal wines and beers. We've got the spirits to get you in the spirit. Combine our selection with everyday low prices and 2 convenient locations, and Discount Liquor is the one trick-or-treat stop you can't skip. Discount Liquor, locally owned and family operated with 2 locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow in Maine. See all of our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
At IKEA, we know the kitchen is the heart of your home. It's where family gathers after a busy day and where special moments with friends unfold. IKEA can help you turn that heart into a dream space you've always wanted. With endless styles, colors, and features, IKEA's lineup offers countless kitchen possibilities. And now, through October 29th, enjoy 10% off kitchen and appliance purchases of $5,000 or more. Save today on cabinets, countertops, appliances, and yes, even the kitchen sink. Visit IKEA Oak Creek or IKEA.com/US to start building your dream kitchen today.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Fall is here, and it's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows. And remember, for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The Packers have a kicker. Allegedly.
Hey, the last time I said that, it didn't work out so well.
That's the last time you said that as a special teams aficionado and Brad's understudy.
Understudy?
I like that.
Well, I knew you would.
No, you don't.
Yes, he does.
I
Brad
do.
knows I have a little bit of a weird affinity for special teams.
And I respect that. I respect the heck out of that.
And I actually love, like, the other nugget you dropped the other day about when Jaden Reed got the punt, fumbled, got undercut, and luckily is okay.
Yep.
Then you had said after a punt in which it is offsetting penalties, and if they punt again, that's when you roll out an aggressive punt call because the punt coverage team is tired. I was like, that's powerful.
It is.
Because I love learning about things I don't know about.
That's the special teams chess match.
Sometimes I don't remember them. As you know, in Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, we've had Margaret Thatcher as the Prime Minister of England for like 8 straight weeks.
Yeah.
And did I say this on air yet? Last night, 3 bad nights of bad sleep from the daughter. So I was rocking her last night. And the last 2 nights I was rocking her, I thought of Sal Frelick because that moment lives in my head forever of an unbelievable bat to ball, section 117, row 15, seat 16, great view, and I was just elated when he hit that home run. Yesterday, I found myself rocking her thinking about Margaret Thatcher.
The way I am reading that, Ben, is I live in your head rent-free.
Sure.
Sal Frelick and Margaret Thatcher.
Did you know so it's Jersey Day here around our office. Did you know one of our IT specialists had a Sal Frelick jersey on today?
No.
You're a fraud. You're wearing a Ben Brust Lithuanian jersey.
Yeah, I support my hosts.
Appreciate you. That being said, it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776. On YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, you can see Kyle Wallace in a Detroit Pistons Ben Wallace jersey.
You can see Kyle Wallace on the Kyle Wallace jersey.
You can see Brad Nortman.
It's a Kyle Wallace jersey.
You can see Brad
Ben Wallace jersey.
Yeah.
It is a Kyle. How y'all going to? I had this made.
Then why didn't you get it as the Bucks?
Good question.
Because he didn't get it made. He ordered a Ben Wallace jersey.
I bought a jersey because it said Wallace.
It's okay.
Just own it,
yeah,
man.
just accept it. Ben Wallace.
I changed
You
the purpose.
find the weirdest times to
Wait,
put
is
your
that
foot
why
down.
you're wearing it backwards? Because you don't want people to know it's a Pistons jersey?
No, because I'm playing for the name on the front of the jersey, not in the back. And the name on the front is what? What does it say, fellas?
Brad Nortman's wearing an Omaha Beef jersey in honor of Matt LaFleur, and I do want to talk about the next 5 games for the Green Bay Packers, because the next 5, and you know, let's pull this trophy. Over the next 5 games, I want to know the Green Bay Packers record, because they play at home, as we all know, against the Houston Texans, taking on C.J. Stroud, 2 up-and-coming QBs that, despite the fact that one was a rookie last year, one was a first-year starter, it seems as if they're in parallel of comparison right now. Then the Green Bay Packers travel to the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars, who have won 1 game. Then we get tough here. Home against the Detroit Lions, a team that won the division last year, went to the NFC Championship game, was rolling last week. I mean, they are an offensive juggernaut right now, speaking of identity. They play at the Chicago Bears. Now, it's an intriguing game. Do I think the Bears are great? No. Do I think this is the best chance they've had in a long time to be competitive with the Packers? Absolutely. And then at home against the 49ers, who we all still believe, and if you don't, that's fine. I do believe that team is going to be around at the end. So the next 5 games, home against the Texans, at the Jaguars, home against the Lions, at the Bears, and home against the Niners. What will the Packers' record be the next 5 games? 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, or 2-3 or worse?
I got 3-2. That is a gauntlet of a stretch. And the rest of the season is tough, mainly because of the division. But Texans, Lions, 49ers. You're talking about 3 of the top 6 teams in all of the NFL. So I got a win against the Texans, win against the Jags, loss against the Lions, win against the Bears, loss against the 49ers. I've got a bad feeling that the 49ers will be mostly healthy by the time they come back, and they kind of keep that rivalry against the Packers going. But Lions, Texans, 49ers, and the Jags and the Bears Jags aren't great, but the Bears are no slouch. I think going 3-2 is somewhat of a success. If you can go 4-1 or 5-0, let's go.
He's using the word somewhat.
But 32, 3-2.
You're basically saying they're 2-2 against the real opponents. Yes.
Yes, I am saying
No,
that.
I know you're saying that.
Yes, I'm saying that exactly.
Kyle Wallace, what say you?
I'm so sick of this. Every time we get to this, I hear this music and we ask this question about what will the Packers be in this stretch, this game stretch? What will they be? And I have to sit here and listen to old pessimist Brad over here talk about how my team's going to be 2-3 or 3-2. We did it last year. You guys remember? But I took a little vacation to Mexico. I remember joining in on the show. At some point, you guys talked about jumping into Lake Michigan, and I came back and found out I was jumping to Lake Michigan. But you know what happened? We had a conversation talking about how will the Packers do on this next stretch. They have the Steelers.
Are you
they have
mocking
the
us?
Chargers. They have the Lions. They have the Chiefs.
Ended.
Oh, they may not win a game. The Chiefs, the Lions, the Steelers, and what did the Packers do? They went 3-1 during that stretch. And then earlier this year, Jordan Love went down in the Eagles game. So what do we start doing? Oh, they have the Colts. They have the Titans. They have the Vikings. They have the Rams. What will they? If they can win one game, that would be amazing with Malik Willis. And what did the Packers go and do? They smacked from behind, and Malik Willis went 2-0. So what I'm saying is this: I'm sick and tired of hearing all the pessimism from you. And for you right now, you're good with me. You're good because you're on the Packers bandwagon for the Super Bowl.
I'm putting money on tonight at Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
But at the end of the day, when I look at this is what I want to see. This is an opportunity for the Green Bay Packers to show they are the cream of the crop of not just the NFC, but also the NFL. I want us to go up against quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud, like Trevor Lawrence, like Jared Goff, like Caleb Williams, and like Brock Purdy. That's the opportunity that they have. We can come out of these next 5 games knowing exactly what we have, knowing exactly what the ceiling is, and I hope the Green Bay Packers are ready for it. So when I look at these games, I think the Packers go 4-1. I think they go 4-1 in these next 5 games, and they cement themselves as a team that is truly going to be making a run to the Super Bowl. Mark it, book it. I'm excited.
We're talking about a 1-game difference.
No,
3-2 versus 4-1.
No, that's different, Brad. That's different.
1 game.
You're with me, right? 5-0. I don't care about the Houston Texans. No Nico Collins, their best wide receiver. You got Jair Alexander back. This defense is getting takeaways. This is when Jordan Love shows he's better and much better than C.J. Stroud. The Jacksonville Jaguars haven't been relevant since their punter was Brad Nortman.
Oh, wow.
True. That's true.
Let's how about the Lions?
True.
How about the Lions? Yeah? They're not untouchable. Do they look good? Yes. They beat a lowly Dallas Cowboys team. The way the Packers have been playing, if they do what we all think they can do in this test against the Houston Texans, confidence is a hell of a drug. And this team was young and confident last year, and now they can be good and confident this year. Take down the Lions at home at Lambeau Field. Let them know the North was yours, but we're back fighting for it. The Bears, they're the Bears. Hit the Caleb Williams trophy. 1 second.
Caleb Williams sucks.
Enough said. And the 49ers, yes, they've been a side in our thorn. But again,
sucks. That's the Richard Scratch. Thorn in our side.
They've been a side in our thorn. They've been a side in our thorn. No, I'm saying it. I'm sticking to it. They've been a thorn in our side. 5-0 for the Green Bay Packers. Non-believer, believer.
Well, hold on. He gets extremely high.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Just because they're going through.
Thank you, Adam. 5-0 next 5 weeks.
Just because they're going through a challenging stretch doesn't mean I don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl team. Here's my concern. We just talked about the defensive line, how there's really no good fixes for it. The 49ers are the second best offense, total offense. Lions third, Texans sixth. So those 3 teams alone are 3 of the top 6. They've only played, it's been, the highest team they've faced is the Eagles, and the lowest is 31. So Eagles are 10, Titans 31. Everyone's like 20s and high teens as far as top offenses they've faced. They haven't faced anybody worth a damn.
So you don't believe in the Green Bay Packers?
He doesn't. Give me those beads back. Give me your beads back. Give me your New Orleans Super Bowl beads back.
You should want to see how they fare against this challenging stretch. This will be very telling.
It will.
But I feel very confident only truly because from this defense, I believe this defense is takeaways. I don't think this is an anomaly. I don't think it's, they're getting takeaways. No, I believe this is who they are. They're able to force turnovers, punch balls out, recover balls. And then on top of that, when it comes offensively, this team is getting in such a groove. They made it look so easy. easy. They made it look so smooth. That Christian Watson touchdown, Matt LaFleur drew that up on the sideline after reading the defense, and they executed perfectly.
You ready for this, boys?
Stride.
You ready for this? There's only one team in Pro Football Network's best offensive line rankings. The Lions are number one. The rest, you have the Niners at 13. You have the freaking Texans at 18. You then have the freaking Chicago Bears, whose offensive line is no good at 24.
Why are we freaking them?
Because I'm doing it, and I like it. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are 28. So all I'm saying is, instead of freaking the bleeping teams that they play, it's an opportunity for the defensive line to show against only one top 10 offensive line that they can get it done against the Lions, and the rest, they can show us that
the issue is the only team they've shown they can do it against is the Tennessee Titans, which I imagine are probably 32 in those rankings.
I understand that, but I also understand that this team, outside of the takeaways, has built a little confidence containing Kyler Murray, Carl Brooks with a punch-out. I'm going to believe in what I've seen over the last 2 weeks, or mostly last week, and using what they did against the Titans to know that is in them against bad offensive lines to create opportunities for their defense. I'm a believer. You guys aren't. A little pessimism out of Strofe. I wasn't looking for that. I want Kyle to tell us about the Underdog program and platform, because I'm the only underdog mentality on this show right now.
Oh, you may have the only underdog mentality, but I got something for you, KBN Nation, is Underdog Fantasy Sports. And what I love about Underdog, it's so easy to use and so simple to play. You can either download the Underdog Fantasy Sports app, or you go to UnderdogFantasy.com. That is UnderdogFantasy.com, and that is your chance to get in on all the fun. Right now, you can do baseball. Yes, so like higher or lower on home runs for Shohei Ohtani. I have a home run. I think he gets it today. Walker Buehler, higher or lower than 3.5 strikeouts. I think he can get higher than that as well. It is so easy. You just pick higher or lower on multiple teams, from multiple players from different team stats. And if your picks hit, KBN Nation, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, 1,000 times your money. Make watching the playoffs for baseball more fun by watching it while playing the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And I want you to get in the game just like me. And remember, making these picks are so easy. Go to their easy-to-use mobile app, or Underdog Fantasy in your app store, or go to UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up using promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN, and my friends at Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That is promo code KBN on the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerns your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
800-990-3776. Brett chimes in. Packers go 2-3 next 5. Defense still sucks. Non-believer, no beads for you. And
Brett sucks.
For those who texted in their address, I will be writing letters after the show with stamps and sending beads to all you believers that we're going to New Orleans. Hear Brad out on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman before Rob Domofsky. Two of our favorite segments back to back. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
Yeah, I am young.
You're not that.
I am
Every
wild.
time I ask you to do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why are you taking shit? Why are you going personal? Why you gotta talk about business? I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 43, a hefty ride from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge where you will see an accident blocking the left lane as you're coming off of the high-rise. So be careful with that. We've got westbound 94 backing up from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41 is going to be a bit of a heavy ride, too, from Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. The rest of the system, so far, so good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clear and chilly, frost inland, a low of 37 at the lake, 32 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and nice with a high of 64. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
On this show, it's always football season.
And your argument was that the coaches wanted him to return it.
Yeah, I think,
and he very clearly said no.
They wanted him to take it to the house.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Play the results, are we?
That's what coaches do sometimes, yeah.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
2 touchdown catches from Romeo Doubs in his return from suspension, plus touchdowns for Jaden Reed and Christian Watson as Jordan Love leads the Packers to a 34-13 victory at home over the Arizona Cardinals. Here's Jordan Love after the win.
We just got to keep building upon it, build off this win, off this performance, and go back, handle business this week through our practice. And, we got a really good team coming in here next week. So definitely got to build on this momentum and, keep this rhythm going we got.
Packers, by the way, on defense recovered 3 fumbles as well.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 10, something happened that I didn't think would. My friend invited me to go to a Cubs game, so I went. My friend and his dad went to get drinks, and I was all alone. A Kansas City player was up to bat. The ball was hit on the roof above my head, and it came down into my mitt. My friends were so surprised when I had it. Later that summer, my family took a vacation to Florida, and we went to Blizzard Beach. There was a 120-foot drop slide, and I went down it. For baseball, I made the All-Star team, and my friend's birthday, John's, was the same day as the game. After the game, my mom brought treats for the whole team. I had the best time when I was 10.
You're a freaking squirrel. Just mind everywhere.
Boing, 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 boing.
It's a lot of data points right there. It's a lot.
I had the best time when I was 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6.
It does always end. I had the best time when I was 10, except when I was 11 when I said, I am still alive.
Clearly they weren't teaching creative writing in Illinois.
Thank you very much, Alex Strofe, running the show. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. That was an excerpt in my autobiography from when I was 11. I hope you're enjoying these as much as Kyle is.
I'm not enjoying it. It is confusing. I can imagine you reading the book. Your mind is like, what is he talking about? I just don't understand how your parents read this and were like, yeah, this sounds good. Turn it in.
You think my parents read this?
Literally, shout out to all the teachers out there that have to deal with students like Ben Brust, where you read this and be like, this is nonsensical. I don't know what to do with this.
I have to give all due respect to your 5th grade teacher, but whatever they were doing when it came to editing the rough draft, bad job.
You can tell this wasn't peer reviewed.
Yeah, right.
At all.
Exactly.
At all.
They said, that.
Easy, Brad.
We going to pass them anyways. The principal going to move them up anyways because that principal's waiting for them at the high school.
Now it's time to hear somebody with some more coherent thoughts. They're never good recently. What?
Coherent?
Let's hear Brad out.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
All right, guys. I'm seeing something go through the restaurant industry that must be outlawed. It must be stopped. These QR codes that give you the menu, I'm sick of it. I don't want it. It's got to be outlawed, and here's why. Listen, I went to a restaurant last night. This was one of many data points where I saw this.
Data points.
Guys,
data points.
Anecdotal data points. Whenever you get to the table and you got to pull out your phone and do the QR code, it completely breaks the vibe of the restaurant. The menu, when they hand you the menu in your hands, that is the first tangible experience of the restaurant. The food comes later, but that sets the tone for the restaurant, is having the actual menu in your hands. When you have to go and do the QR code, I'll be honest. I looked around the restaurant to see what other people are doing. People look like idiots looking at their phone. They're trying to zoom in. What is that? Do you know what that is? I don't know what that is. Everyone's confused. It sets up terrible vibes for the rest of the night. And here's the other thing. This is the thing that I maybe dislike most about these QR code menus. Obviously, they can change it. They can change the things on there, right? Because I asked another restaurant, I was like, hey, what are your specials tonight? And she goes, did you scan the code? And I was like, yeah. She's like, it's on there. You miss out on the theater of the waiter.
Oh, you love the theater of the specials.
I do love the theater. They describe we're gonna roast it in vinaigrette. I love that. I love that moment.
Rich guy over here.
It's
the chef special.
It's the time.
This is Pandra Vita Inn and Club, Brad.
It is. And I expect several specials to be listed and to have them be described in detail. Thank you very much.
I was going to be on your side, but you went full diva on me. You're like a wide receiver of menus.
You can appreciate that moment for the waiter and waitress to really connect with you and say the specials. So I'm sick
I ain't gonna lie, I can't tell you last time I actually listened to the specials. I'm just saying wrap it up.
Yeah, I know the price. The price too high. I did my pre-scan on the menu.
So that's the take, guys. QR code menus, they gotta go. They're busting out their phone. You're more likely to go on it than actually focus on your company, and it takes away from their ability to say the specials. I don't like it. I want to feel the menu in my hands. Outlaw QR code menus. I'm sick of them.
800-990-3776. Please react to Brad's Hear Brad Out of outlawing QR code menus. I would like to start this one off. I'm with Brad.
Yes, Ben.
I can't stand QR code menus. Our phones are big, but at the same time, they're not big enough to see a whole menu. There's a diner that I go to that has a great one page, but it's got a lot of information on it. And every time I go, you got a paper menu? And they do. They have the paper menu. So you just got to ask for it, Brad.
The deception. It's ridiculous. Especially when the QR code menu takes you to a PDF. That's when you have to zoom in, zoom out. It's absurd. I don't like it. Start requesting paper menus.
I didn't know you guys hate the planet Earth. Want to just keep going?
You reuse that.
You hate Earth. I didn't know
Mr.
that.
Reduce, reuse, recycle over here.
I'll be sure to tell your grandchildren how their grandpappies tried to end the Earth for them because they wanted to not have paper. I mean, yes, I understand.
So let me guess, you're a big paper straw guy.
I struggle through them. I hate them. I actually hate paper straws. I hate it.
Struggle through them.
But I do it because after 10 minutes, you're like, oh my gosh, it's falling apart. But whatever we got to do to save the planet. I mean, it's a QR.
Of all the things we're saving the planet with menus.
Yeah. And by the way, I was at the pharmacy yesterday, and what about the old people? Because I had an old guy try and check in for his appointment at the pharmacy. He took a picture of the QR code. He didn't even know how to click on it.
Somebody better learn them. You better move into the new world. You see Elon Musk got robots going around here. Maybe he needs one of them assistant robots from Tesla.
So you think QR code menus acceptable? You don't even want paper menus.
No, I am a traditional guy. I do enjoy paper menus. And I once was like, I hate this QR code thing. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? what? Sometimes it's much more convenient because depending on the restaurant you go to, the service could be poo-putt. And so being able just to have the QR code right there and see what you need to get is going to be beneficial. So do I prefer paper? Yes, but I'm not going to sit here and make a here Brad out over it.
I actually think another old head like your old man yelling at cloud rant about QR codes will go over well with Rob Domofsky, who will join us next. In reference to the opening of the segment, Adam chimes in about the autobiography that we've been playing clips from on the show. Ben, you may not be an author, but boy, Benny, you got that degree. And that's right, I sure did. I have a University of Wisconsin degree. Ben, I missed the beginning, but I can only think that is your senior thesis? Oh, you like that one? Really like that one?
The best time when I was 10.
The best time when I was 10. And I also have the best time when I go to the Princeton Club because no matter what the occasion, right? I might have had a little too much to drink on a Friday. I can go over to the Princeton Club New Berlin in my area and go in the sauna or the steam room with the great clean locker rooms. They also have something for everyone in those 8 Madison locations. Personal training, workout classes, weights, cardio, you name it. They provide a facility and an environment where they've invested over $1 million into upgrades across all of their clubs. Free childcare with the membership. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. Best of Madison, Best Madison Health Club. You can just go there and find a place where you can have a community of people looking to get better every day like yourself. Join the Princeton Club. Rob Domofsky of ESPN with all the latest insights and nuggets joins us next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach.
Yes, he saw it as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 43, a hefty ride from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge where you will see an accident blocking the left lane as you're coming off of the high-rise. So be careful with that. We've got westbound 94 backing up from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41 is going to be a bit of a heavy ride, too, from Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. The rest of the system, so far, so good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clear and chilly, frost inland, a low of 37 at the lake, 32 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and nice with a high of 64. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
How would you like to own a jewelry store? Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy? Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people. Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now? Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email. Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's. A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 11, which I still am, a sad thing happened. First, I got to go to the Bahamas with my mom's side of the family. We stayed at Atlantis, and we had a great time. After vacation, Mr. Hannon, who was the assistant principal at Hersey, died. He really admired me and my brother and was gonna wait for me to come to Hersey High School. After he died, my travel basketball team ended the year with a 34-5 record. I'm still alive.
Joining us now is a respected journalist across ESPN covering the Green Bay Packers. His name is Rob Domofsky. Rob, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. What grade would you give me in 5th grade for my excerpt in my autobiography?
Well, first of all, I always forget you went to Hersey for a year because I went to Rolling Meadows.
Oh, that is true.
Second of all, like when we were doing biographies in grade school, we were doing biographies of other people, not autobiographies. That's pretty bold.
It was the assignment. To my knowledge.
Yeah, right. Pretty arrogant on someone's part. I'm not sure if it's yours or the teacher's, but no, I think it's interesting. It's good stuff. I always want to know more about people.
Yeah, the weirdest part is that I think that the assistant principal wanted to stay alive just for me to be there with him at high school. But that's for another day.
And then you celebrating that you are indeed alive.
Well, I think that's gratitude of understanding that life is fragile.
That's
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Stroh running the show, joined by Rob Domofsky of ESPN, where Brad Nortman has a 2-3 approval rating, 2 wins, 2 losses, and hear Brad out. I'm looking forward to our old guy who messes up on Twitter reacting to this one.
Yeah, Rob, I think you're going to agree with me on this one.
It's got to be technology related.
It is. It certainly is. QR code menus at restaurants. Rob, they got to be outlawed. I'm sick of them. I don't want them anymore. They completely break the vibe of the restaurant by everyone scanning it and looking at their phone. Everyone looks like idiots as we try to zoom in and try to figure out how this PDF looks. And honestly, too, it takes away from my favorite moment of the dinner experience, at least like with the menu.
Bougie Brad.
Because I asked someone.
You want to hear the specials?
I want to hear the specials, Rob. Yeah. I said, because I said, hey, what are the specials? And they say, did you scan the code? And I was like, yeah. And they said, yeah, it's there. And I want to hear the spiel. That's all part of the experience, the drama in the theater. What do you say, Rob? Ban QR code menus.
Say less. I'm with you. The only thing I use my phone for in ordering is our go-to place for whether it's a birthday, anniversary, graduation, some milestone in our family. We always go to this sushi place called Umi Sushi, shameless plug, on the east side of Green Bay. And the only thing I actually use my phone for is we order so many different rolls that I just write them into my notes thing in my phone and hand it to the waitress. But we have the same waitress every time, and she knows what we want.
Diva Rob!
But I'm totally with you. I thought the QR code menu thing would go by the wayside once we got out of the COVID
No.
Man, you do sound old out of the COVID.
Rob, you make a ton of sense.
Can I tell you this, too? There's one, I'm going to just plug all these restaurants in town. There's a restaurant in Green Bay called the Union Hotel. Classic old place, early 1900s. All Lombardi used to go there. All the John Madden would go there when he'd come into town. They do this. This must be Wisconsin Supper Club deal because I've never seen this until I got to Wisconsin. You go into the bar area, you order a drink, they take your menu or your order there off the menu, and then when your food is about to be ready, then they seat you in the dining room.
I went to a place on Friday that did the exact same thing here in local Milwaukee. Rob.
That's got to be a Wisconsin Supper Club.
It is.
Right?
It was a supper club. Yep.
Yeah, but I love it. I think I'm all for it. I want to interact with people, not my phone.
If we keep running through paper because you don't like QR codes, that supper club won't be here 100 years from now. Then what will you say?
Well,
that's their problem.
JD and Fondy says paper is renewable resource, Kyle.
I'll be long dead by then.
How about that, Kyle Wallace?
I'm out of science, guys. Is the response.
Rob, obviously big news.
So we're back to 500.
Yeah, 3-3 for Brad Nortman.
Feels good. I'm going to keep the momentum going next week.
The Packers did sign Brandon McManus, and I think we're all in agreement here that, it is – you can say, hey, I still have worries just because he hasn't kicked his best over the last 2 years that he's played, but he's a veteran that's done it, right? Packer fans got to feel at least a little bit more confidence when they trot out the kicker to take a line from Alex Strofe.
I mean, 13 years in the league, right? Or 13 or 14 even, a long time in Denver.
He kicked against Brad Nortman in Super Bowl 50.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's right. He actually told a story about how when he first got to Denver, it was a little bit like the Braden Narvison situation. He actually got cut. He said it was, I have to look this up, but he said he got cut at part of the way through a season. Then they brought him back just to do kickoffs, and then he made it and stayed for the rest of the time there. He knows what it's like to, how it is to have to start in this league. And his numbers last year weren't bad, right? I mean, I suppose I don't have it in front of me. Was he
relative to 11 of 16?
Yeah, wasn't he 30 out of 37 on field goals last year?
Yes, he was.
I'm pretty sure he made every extra point, Kyle. Is that
35
right?
for 35, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think that's too bad. I think it's a big move for him. I really do. I mean, Brian Gutekunst said it today, and he's probably right. He goes, look, if it wasn't for the issues surrounding him off the field, this guy probably wouldn't have been available. And he wouldn't have been because he was signed by Washington in free agency to a pretty decent kicker, 1-year contract, but it was still worth, I think, $3.5 million or more. So, the whole issue with the league investigation is one thing. I don't know necessarily if that, the league says they're not going to discipline him. So if you're the Packers, I guess that's good enough for you. It's a whole moral dilemma that I don't know that we really need to get into today, but I don't really know enough about it. But I do think from a pure football standpoint, first of all, it's a move that they had to make a change. They couldn't keep trotting out Narvison. I actually wondered, though, if they would have kept Narvison if they really think that he's worth developing and maybe, put him on, you could make up an IR, you can IR a guy, or you can just have him, inactive or whatever, and maybe try their practice squad kicker, Alex Hale, for a week. But obviously they felt like they needed to do something bigger than that, and that's why they did it.
Rob, it kind of felt like Narvison inherited the frustration that Carlson started, right? And it felt like he obviously didn't do well. His field goal percentage wasn't great, and missing that often would be likely that you'd get cut anyway. But I'm under the impression that fans, the team, they need to reset, and they can't carry over the frustration from Narvison onto McManus. I think they need to refill their patience bucket. Do you think that's a fair take, or do you think that fans are probably right to say, you know what, you're here to make field goals. If you miss one, we're going to react as if this is the 7th one missed of the season?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'd say, Brad, is that there are certain organizations that can't get certain positions right. I mean, right? Like the Bears can't get a quarterback right, and I mean, is that and then maybe they did with this guy, but is that the previous quarterback's fault, or the guy before him, or the guy before him? I don't know. The Packers have struggled in run defense for a long, long time. Yet they've changed coordinators and changed players and all that stuff, and yeah, I can understand why it would be frustrating if the same problem keeps befalling an organization. For a long time here, special teams were a big issue. And kicking was the best part of it, right? Like with Mason, But there were other issues, everyone knows about onside kick recoveries, et cetera, et cetera. So, while it's certainly, you cannot, the sins of the father should not be visited on the son or whatever that Bible verse, or I don't know what it is. I'm not, that's not my domain, so I probably shouldn't even use it. But it's not Brandon McManus's fault that, these previous guys haven't gotten it right. On the flip side, your job is to make kicks. And, no one knows that better than you guys that have done this in this league. And it sounds so simple, but yet it's so difficult, to do it under these circumstances. And, there's basically not 32 good kickers in the world, right? Isn't that? Because every team doesn't have a good kicker. It's incredible that, of all the billions and trillions of people or whatever there are in this world, there's not 32 of them.
Trillions? What's wrong with you?
90% of the 95% of the. I don't know how many people are in the world.
I think it's like
7 billion?
Yeah. Something like that, 8 billion. Are you smart on that question?
So not trillions?
No, not quite.
Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars.
As of 2024, the world's population is estimated to be about 8.2 billion, not trillion. That would be the one before trillion. Billion people.
Why make trillions when you can make billions?
How many billions in a trillion?
100 billion?
No,
999 billion.
99 billion before you get to.
All right.
So 1 trillion is 999 billion.
Rob Domofsky joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Math is not a strong suit, nor Bible verses.
Hey, Rob, so the overall, the Packers signing McManus, do you think that's a signal that Goody is all in on the season, on the fact that this is a championship run he's trying to have and the window is wide open?
I think it's a great question, Kyle. I think it's both. The fact that they haven't gotten the kicker right, and the fact that they can't let what happened last year in a playoff game happen again, because they do think they have a pretty good team, and I think they have. I think there's a championship window here, an immediate championship window of this year and next year, just because you have all the same skill position players under contract for this year and next year. Not saying that it doesn't go beyond that with Jordan Love, but like the immediate window right now are these next 2 years, and I think that's absolutely why you make a move like this. It's one of the reasons you make a move like this.
Rob Domofsky joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Rob, Texans at Jags, home Lions at Bears, home Niners. Next 5, where do you got them?
Boy, I really think they're hitting their stride a little bit, and I think they win this week and next week. What's after that?
Lions at Bears, home Niners.
Yeah, well, I think the Lions will be difficult. I think by then, I think they only lose one, at the most 2 of those games in that stretch.
Yeah,
it's pretty optimistic.
I don't like the 2. 1 is fine, Rob.
But two puts them at what would that be?
7-4.
7-4. Yeah, that's
So you don't believe that this?
On your way to the wild card.
Well, he doesn't believe that this team is Super Bowl ready right now. Then, if he thinks that this
it's not how you're playing at this time. The 2010 team was 8-6 and had to win the last 2 games going in. So I think it's about how you're playing then, and it's who you're playing. Like when you're playing them. You probably would have liked to have played San Francisco right now, and maybe by the time they play San Francisco, they get some of their guys back.
Yeah, and I will say to that point, though, you didn't face Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Correct.
It all evens itself out for the most part.
No, I think that's a great point, because it's not who you play, it's when you play them and who they have when you play them. That's a big part of this league.
Rob, what's your take on the the response by Romeo Doubs this week? Are you totally convinced that the Packers have moved past it and Romeo has as well?
No, I'm not convinced that he has, just because, and I asked him this after the game. I said, don't you think it would be easier for everyone to move past it if you publicly explained, exactly what happened? And he basically said no. The other thing that I don't know that he looks overly, his personality is laid back or whatever, but he doesn't look overly happy. You saw him when he scored.
Is that a change, Rob? Because a lot of us weren't watching like that, but do you sense a change?
He's always been really quiet, Kyle, and a keep to himself kind of guy. But I asked him after the game, I didn't know what else to say, and I just said, Romeo, "Are you happy?" And that was the first time he actually cracked a smile. And he said, "Yeah, man, I'm good." So maybe he is good, but I feel like from the outside and from the fans and even us, in the locker room, like I feel like we all still have questions. Now, whether he has the answers that satisfies his own situation and the Packers have the answers that satisfy them, that's probably the only thing that matters. But I do still think there is a little bit hanging over the situation just because there's still so much, unknown about what exactly happened.
Well, Rob, we covered a lot with you today. We really appreciate the time, and we look forward to chatting with you every Wednesday.
I will go about start studying world population right now because that was terrible.
Add Bible verses to that as well.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see you, Rob.
All right, we'll be seeing you
guys. That's Rob Demovsky of ESPN covering the Green Bay Packers. See him on TV. Listen to him to our shows across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofer on the show. KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. Brad, I mentioned it, has something going on in his marriage. We need to uncover this next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Tyler, thank you for all that baby talk there and parenting talk. I'll take some of those tips.
I was getting ready for it right
now.
Yeah, taking notes over there,
taking some of those nips. Taking some of those tips. those tips and storing them away. I do like nips as well. But Tyler.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry. Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two in the
I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover. Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Braden Narvison has struggled through his first 6 games in a Packers uniform. The rookie kicker has made only 12 of 17 field goals this season. Another 25 NFL kickers with at least 10 attempts. Only Narvison has missed more than 3 kicks. Would head coach Matt LaFleur consider promoting Alex Hale from the practice squad to take over kicking duties this week?
Potentially.
If Hale isn't brought up, what would the breaking point be before LaFleur moves on from Narvison?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll take it day by day.
The Packers back on the practice field today as they get ready to welcome the 5-1 Houston Texans to Lambeau Field on Sunday. Kickoff is at noon.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Think owning a home is just a dream? No dream at Tri-City is too extreme. Talk to us and we'll show you how that dream you're dreaming can be reality now. Tri-City National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 433891.
A fall football Sunday in Green Bay. It just doesn't get much better. And Ticket King is the place to get you there this Sunday to see the green and gold. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to buy Green Bay tickets. Experience a fall football in Green Bay by visiting theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Follow Ticket King on Facebook and Instagram. Find tickets for Sunday's big matchup with Houston at theticketking.com.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
The Island Showroom's fall lineup is packed with excitement. On Halloween, don't miss Lisa McClowry's acclaimed portrayal of the goddess of pop in The Beat Goes On, Cher. The rock anthems of Warrant bring down the house November 8th and 9th. And November 15th and 16th, country heartthrob Connor Smith hits the stage. Visit islandresortandcasino.com today to buy your Island Showroom tickets online or call 877-ISL-SHOW.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's third grade autobiography.
I always walked around barefoot. I walked on my tiptoes all the time, and I still do. I think if I was 3 right now, I would have the greatest time.
I think I'd have a great time if I was 3. Would you guys?
Oh, yeah. 3 would be a great age to relive.
Great age.
No.
Not a care in the world.
No, being a kid was rough sometimes.
Oh, your parents were tough?
All those parents telling you what to do. I can't wait to grow up. And then I grew up, and I'm like, dang.
That is from my autobiography, voiced by our wonderful team here at ESPN Wisconsin. Someone who will love me no matter what. And I'm having a great time in my life right now. Because I get to work with Gina Della from Pella.
KB, la la la.
And it's time to celebrate the one, the only Gina Della from Pella's 60th birthday.
Oh,
wow. You know, it's her birthday, and she's the gift that she keeps on giving. A special offer for her 60th, 0% down, 0% interest for 60 months. That's 0 for 60 for Gina Della from Pella's 60th birthday. Stop by the Wisconsin State Fair Park Expo Center this weekend and see Pella at the Home and Remodeling Show on the 18th through the 20th. Take advantage of the offer. Certain restrictions do apply, but book your appointment by November 8th. Guess what I did, guys? I talked to you. They came to my house. I looked how they can make it energy efficient. Had a call with Joe Franco, who was amazing, walking me through the process. Gina was there as well. They made me feel like I had experts by my side here to help along the way, and I am now locked in for 0 for 60 for windows in my new home.
After Pella windows in the Brust house, it'll be the Brust estate before you know it.
Hey, it might not grow in size, but it'll grow in value thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For Gina's 60th, make sure you call PellaWI.com or call 855-PELLA-WI or visit PellaWI.com to get 0 for 60 for Gina Della from Pella's 60th birthday. Happy birthday, Gina from KBN. We love you. Brad, you're in love, but you're having issues in your marriage.
Yeah, there's a crisis in the Nortman household. So,
oh no.
Snuggle time and our snuggle regiment has officially been infringed upon, and I am panicking. I'm panicking, guys. I'm going to try to catch up really quick. My left ear, bad since birth, had reconstructive ear surgery, all the things. Just recently, I don't know if it's the pressure change. I don't know what it is. Usually it operates at like 75%.
Me yelling at you in your headset?
Yeah, that could be it. Usually it's like 75%. It's like 35% recently. I can't hear anything out of this ear. And our snuggling regiment is my right ear on the pillow, left arm over Lexi. You know, we're in the big spoon, little spoon. I can't hear a word she says while we are snuggling. It's a critical time in my day in the Nortman estate. And she's trying to say something. I got to pick my head up and say, "What'd you say, baby? What'd you say?" It ruins all the intimacy.
This is your marriage issue?
How about laying on the other ear?
But then I'm pointing the other way. Then.
Yeah,
I'm looking away
on the other
from
side.
Her. But then we're
you can't mess up the cuddle.
We'll switch sides.
No.
No.
Once you got the side of the bed, you could not switch the sides.
We have staked our territory.
Well.
This creature of habit definitely ain't going to be able to switch sides of the bed.
Ain't doing it.
Fair point.
Are you
left side
closest to the door to be the protector?
Of course.
What a strong man you are, Bradley.
That's right. They got to go through me to get through Lex.
Not my house.
Up next on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam is the Dam Sports Show. On 100.5 ESPN is Jim, Matt, and Molly. And right here on 94.5 ESPN until the Homer Hour at 5 o'clock, it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. We're back in 2 minutes solving all the world's problems.
What they want you to hear. Tell me it's cool. I just don't believe it. Sell out with me, oh yeah. Sell out with me tonight.
41, slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, back on the brakes from Greenfield Avenue all the way down to Lincoln. Eastbound on 94, we've got issues in the Stadium Interchange. Right at 175 northbound, the center lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. Delays back to about 92nd Street, basically the Zoo Interchange solid. Northbound 43, we do have a crash now with the right lane blocked just before you get to Keefe. Things are slowing way down all the way back to North Avenue. Of course, southbound is going to be very slow as well from about Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, clear, chilly, frost inland with a low of 37 at the lake, 32 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and nice, a high of 64. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judges' Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys.
It's the 414 hour and 4 on KBN.
He's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman. What's up, Brad?
I don't know how I feel about that because Kyle's got his Detroit Ben Wallace jersey on, and he kind of like flashed it as
he was flashing the Wallace because he thinks he's above us.
You know what I love about this, though? I took a picture in the hallway, and I got to see the picture, and it took me all the way back to when we wore jerseys like this, throwback jerseys, back in the day, a little baggier jeans. I felt like it was 2004 again. I really did.
It's good times.
Good times.
Great
Good
times.
times indeed. Strofe, what were you doing in 2004?
Pooping himself.
I was in kindergarten in 2004.
So pooping himself.
You were in kindergarten in 04?
What the hell?
When were you born?
I was born in 98.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. That doesn't add up. Isn't kindergarten over at like 5?
It's so maybe I was in first grade.
Still,
no, I was in
still
kindergarten,
pooping
right?
himself.
04, 05. I would have been in kindergarten. I graduated high school in 17.
I don't think that adds up, buddy.
I still don't think it adds up either.
First grader.
Well, let's go through it together. All right. So 04, 05 is kindergarten. 5, 6 is first.
You know what? Why don't you count back there and get back to us? All right. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. You can see our beautiful faces and our young pup Alex Strofe on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee wearing a delicious looking Piano Žvaigždės jersey. That is the jersey that I wore in Lithuania. It's nothing special, but I will say I feel very proud that
What
you.
What brand is this?
I don't know.
It's not Nike. It's not Adidas.
It's made in Lithuania.
Yeah, that sounds like it's locally
Lithuanian
sourced.
sweatshop.
It smells good.
Does it?
Yeah.
I haven't worn it in a while. I haven't worn it since 2015.
How many people would attend your games?
A third of the town.
So 2,000?
2,000.
Well, that's pretty good.
And it is 2,500 capacity. So people pop it out
that's
for in
bumping.
Pasvalys, Lithuania to see.
And now, a reading from Ben Brust's third grade autobiography.
In the future, I hope to play sports in college just like my brothers do today. I play soccer for the Arlington Red Aces and hope to continue to play down the road. I also play for the Arlington Heights travel basketball team, and I hope to play basketball in the future. In high school, I also hope to get into the theater there for the spring musical like my brother. I have many goals, and I hope to achieve them.
Wow.
Theater kid.
How about passionate?
He's a theater kid.
Did your teacher write, like, this is your only hope?
Keep shooting.
You better keep playing basketball.
You know how most teachers say, you're never going to make it. Your only way out is basketball, Ben. Because it ain't going to be writing.
It is interesting.
You're not going to be a scholar.
How much you wanted to be just like your brother. Just like my brother, he played soccer. Just like my brother, he played basketball.
Is
just
it
like
bad
my
to look
brother.
up to your siblings?
No, I'm just saying a little bit, find your own identity, buddy.
I think I have.
From one of them.
I don't know who you're referencing.
From JB. You definitely aren't JB. You saw the light. You got away from
I
that
definitely ain't my
Chicago
brother
sports team.
Steven as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't
What's
know
wrong with
Steven.
him?
Yeah.
I love Steven. He was the one who was in theater. He was Ren in Footloose, and I got frosted tips, and like I wanted to be just like him.
Did you ever do the musical?
No, I don't. I'm not very musically talented, but if I could, I would love to be able to sing.
I ever tell you guys I was Iago the bird in my high school's production of Aladdin?
That checks out.
Yeah, that's a prize. Probably better than that in basketball.
That is
I was the
perfect.
parrot.
That is perfect casting.
I was also the drunk innkeeper in our production of Les Miserables.
Oh, wow. That was foreshadowing.
Yeah. How did they know?
I'm not an innkeeper.
Oh, you sure are.
That is wild.
man.
Speaking of Les
I'm
Mis,
not currently drunk.
what? Not gonna have to. I hope not. That is the longest play I've ever attended. I left.
Les Mis?
Oh my God!
You didn't stay?
I left. It was 2 hours in, and they just stopped, and they said, "Oh, intermission." I said, "Intermission." Nothing.
Yeah, but the
we outta
second
here.
act is short.
I didn't know. I left.
Didn't
I
stay
said
for the
that-
second act. Well, I do want to know this because we did put out a poll of the next 5 Green Bay Packers game. What will be the record? Because they have an interesting schedule. You know, home against the Texans against C.J. Stroud, on the road against a bad Jacksonville Jaguars team, at home November 3rd against the Detroit Lions, who are the reigning division champion and did go to the NFC Championship game and are looking mighty solid right now, at the Chicago Bears, and then home on November 24th against the 49ers. Now, you can answer that poll on Twitter at KBN ESPN. You could also 800-990-3776 chime in with what you think their record will be over those 5 games. But I want to know, like, as long as they make the playoffs, do you even care if they win the division? Because heading into the year, I feel like we're trying to build up the fact, like, hey, take back the North. The Vikings are 5-0 coming off a bye, and they have a pretty weak schedule. The Lions are the reigning division champion. As it stands right now, if the NFL season were to end right now, all 4 NFC North teams would be in. Don't know if that ends up being the situation at the end of the year, but goodness gracious, like, it's going to be a gauntlet to try and win this division. Do you care if they win the division, Kyle, as our Packer backer, if they make the playoffs?
I mean, to be honest, no, because again, maybe my mindset is tainted from the fact that winning the division meant absolutely nothing in our Super Bowl year. So for that, the most recent one, so for that, it's just like, we win the division, it doesn't matter. Home field advantage will be great, but it is what it is. I know the Packers can go on the road as they did last year and still be a very competitive football field team. There is no home field advantage to me when it comes to the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. The bottom line is, as Rob talked about before when Rob Domofsky joined us, I just want this Green Bay Packers football team to make the playoffs and be playing the best football of the season by the time the playoffs come around, because we saw last year what they could potentially be. A year older, a year more experienced, and a year better. I feel like if this football team wins 3 of the last 4 going into the playoffs, they will be one of the hottest teams in the NFL, which will give me confidence regardless of what our seed is, that once we're in, we have a chance to win.
Here's why it matters to win your division, to get a home playoff game. Let me just recite to you, since 1975.
Here goes those stats, Brad.
The percentages of who wins the Super Bowl on any given year. The number 1 seed wins it 53% of the time. Number 2 seed, 20%. 3 seed, 4%. Strangely, 14% for 4. And then 4 or 5 and 6 is both 4%, and the 7th seed has never won it. So more than half the time the number 1 seed wins it, and if you just do the number 1 and 2 seed, it's almost 75% of the time. So that tells me that home field advantage matters, getting a bye. Now, so that
maybe less home field advantage. I mean, the 2 seed data, they used to have a bye.
Yeah, and that little bit warps it, right?
But what I will add here is, why make it harder on yourselves to win multiple games in a single elimination tournament. I just don't subscribe to the Kyle idea of like, yeah, it'd be great, but like, no, it's more than great. It is important. I know it hasn't worked out in the Packers' favor recently, but history would say getting that 1 seed is super important.
It's super important. And the most important thing we can all agree is just getting in the dance, right? But shortly behind that, you should not discount the importance of winning the division and getting those seeds. Not only does it create an easier route for you throughout the playoffs and into the Super Bowl, but what it says about this team would be so critical. It means if this Packer team can conquer the Vikings and the Lions, they would be the bona fide best team in the NFC. They will have shown with proof, not just projecting, but with proof that they are indeed the top seed in the NFC. And to be able to be the king of the NFC North, it means something. So does it mean more than just the idea of making the playoffs? No, it does not. But you want to make it as easy on yourself as possible. And guys, every time I made the playoffs, it was being a division winner. But countless times we had to go on the road after you win a game or two. There is nothing fun about going on the road in the playoffs. There's a reason why the NFL, and college football too, but football in general, it's one of the rare places that still has a true needle-moving home field advantage, right? Where even like betting lines are changed based on where the game is played. So it matters where you play and when you play it and what you've done throughout the regular season. I know that it's like glamorized, I guess is the best way to put it, of these teams that have been the 6 seed, the 5 seed. They've went on this epic run, the Green Bay Packers being one of them, and winning the Super Bowl. But it's not common. Those are memorable because they're so rare. Most of the time, it's the number 1 and the number 2 seed, so the Packers should strive to be that, even though it's going to be an uphill battle.
800-990-3776. As long as the Packers make the playoff, do you even care if they win the NFC North? 800-990-ESPN.
Brad, you made a great point about being battle-tested, right? And I like that. If the Green Bay Packers were to win the division, that would just show you how good they were this year, right? They're battle-tested. But in another sense, if the Green Bay Packers win 11 games or win 12 games, and that's not good enough to win the NFC North, I still have a sense of confidence that this football team is good enough to be one of the best teams in the NFL. If they split with the Lions, if they split with the Vikings, if they beat the 49ers, or if they beat the Houston Texans, that just shows me that they can go toe-to-toe with some of the best teams. So I understand where you're coming from. Obviously, you want to have home field advantage because a lot of people say it's something to it. But at the end of the day, Brad, I really believe that if they can show that they can compete with these teams during the regular season, in the playoffs is just to give them more confidence that they can compete with them in the playoffs as well. And I'm telling you, do not discount what happened last year, because this team, and Brad yourself and Ben as well, and I think for your Badger basketball team coming back the next year, you had confidence that you could make it to the Final Four because you made it to the championship game because you made it to the Final Four, right? You have more confidence going back the next year, as y'all did with Carolina, saying we got a little taste of this pie. We know what we can do once we get in there.
Let me ask
the whole damn pie.
Do you think
y'all both doing the whole damn pie?
Thank you very much for the reminder.
Now I know how I feel about this. And I'm curious in the Packer backers particularly. Do you think playing at Lambeau Field in the playoff game is an advantage?
Yes, in one playoff game. In an NFC Championship, no.
It's a blanket statement. Do you think that it's an advantage to play at Lambeau in the playoffs?
The Packers haven't won an NFC Championship game at Lambeau since the 90s.
So it sounds like you don't believe it is.
No, it hasn't worked for me, Brad. It hasn't.
This is trauma.
Memories. Yes, it is trauma.
This is lashing out.
No, I still remember Mike Vick. I remember I was downtown Milwaukee with my uncle in town who lived in Atlanta at the time. We're at a restaurant. We're just, we're eating during the Packer game. We're not at home. That's perfectly fine. And what do I remember? Mike Vick running.
What an aside.
Mike Vick running all over the Green Bay Packers. That's when the mystique of Lambeau went away in the playoffs, when Mike Vick ran all over us, Brad. So at this point, no.
As a Packer backer, don't you want to bring the mystique back? Shouldn't you be working towards that instead of having the defeatist mindset?
I'm sorry. It's 20-plus years hurts it. Remember the Green Bay Packers against the Buccaneers? Y'all remember that? You remember that?
There was no fans in the stands.
Oh, I understand that.
I mean, I guess there was 10,000.
Do you remember the Green Bay Packers against the 49ers when they were up in the fourth quarter with less than 5 minutes left and they lost that game too? I'm telling you, when you see so many losses...
That was a divisional game.
It doesn't matter. I'm just sick of the playoff losses at home for Green Bay. It hurts. It stings. It's bothersome.
Alex Strofe, what say you?
Yeah, I don't know that Lambeau is as scary of a place to play anymore, but of course I would rather be in front of the home fans in the postseason than I would be on the road. I mean, there of course is an angle.
Thank you.
But there is an angle to saying, hey, this Packers team has played really well in recent memory when their back's up against the wall and they're on the road, right? We saw it last year against both Dallas and San Francisco. We saw it the year they won the Super Bowl when they rattled off 3 road victories to get to the Super Bowl. So
wouldn't it be nice for that young team to have been able to play the 49ers at home?
Oh, God, yeah. Obviously, I would prefer them to win the division and play at home if I had the option, of course.
But you're not concerned if they don't. It's all about the performance that they have during the season, because I'm confident, again, based off what I have seen as a Packers fan, is that the Green Bay Packers can go on the road and win, and they can win at home as well. I don't care where it's at. Anytime, any place, anywhere, that's what I want the mentality to be for the Green Bay Packers.
I'm with you. Anytime, anywhere, any place. And speaking of place, there's a wonderful place that has a perfect spot in all of our hearts, and that's the kitchen. You can make your kitchen unbelievably amazing with IKEA. You can turn that heart of your home into a dream space you've always wanted with wide selections of styles, colors, and features. IKEA's lineup offers countless kitchen possibilities. Now, through October 29th, get 10% off your IKEA purchases and appliances of $5,000 or more in the kitchen area. Save on new cabinets, countertops, appliances, and yes, even that kitchen sink. Discover your kitchen inspiration and solutions at IKEA Oak Creek today or IKEA.com/US. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. If the Packers make the playoffs, do you even care if they win the division? Dan and Sheboygan, you're up on Kyle Brust and Nortman, 800-990-3776.
Hey, I was wondering, the real question with the Packers is, do you think this team is designed to be built for cold weather? Typically, in cold weather, you want to run first. This has been a pass-first team for, the last 30 years?
They lead the NFL, I think, in rushing this year.
Well,
for sure, top 3.
At one point they did, and that was due in part to the strategy that they aim to imply. Because
still ran for 160
I'm not saying they didn't,
weekend.
but they have the opportunity with a Josh Jacobs to play that style. It hasn't probably been as consistent as people would have wanted to see, but it's a game-by-game basis. And I think the other question is, are the teams that they're going to play be equipped for it? Because the Dolphins sure as hell weren't equipped to be playing in Buffalo last year.
Yeah, and
Tua and Tyreek, they were looking for a heater.
Yeah, I think that historically these Packer teams have been very pass-centric. They can pass the ball very well, obviously, now, but Matt LaFleur wants to run the ball. I mean, look at Shanahan, look at those guys. Like, the offense runs best when they're running the football.
And so it doesn't even just be the running backs, utilizing Jaden Reed, Christian
100%.
Watson, Bo Melton came off the end the other day. They are more susceptible to, help me, Brad.
They're more, I'm not sure what you're going
Equipped.
I like equipped.
To handle the cold weather than I think we give them
Well
credit
done.
for. 800-990-3776. Streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. We haven't heard from him enough. He's been quiet, working hard back there. He's got a lot of audio prepared. He's been doing well, but it's time to hear his voice. His name is Alex Strofe. Becoming Relevant is next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Student Athlete Support Fund is something I was looking at. I'm ultimately likely going to give to this College of Letters, College of I was in life.
Long week.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 43, very heavy ride right now from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette interchange. We've also got some backups northbound. Oof, right out of the Marquette. We got an accident just south of Keefe that has the right lane blocked, and that's really wreaking havoc. Westbound on 94, we got delays from 25th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. The eastbound side has a broken down vehicle right in the Stadium interchange. It was in traffic for a bit, so it caused some delays. Those delays are kind of sort of working themselves out, kind of sort of not. We got delays starting around 84th Street. And then southbound 41, heavy from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, clear, chilly, frost inland with a low of 37 at the lake, 32 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and nice, a high of 64. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh. Green Bay's toughest test of the season comes this Sunday up in Green Bay against Houston. Join us for Green Bay Game Day beginning at 9 a.m. I'll be joined by Super Bowl champion Jarrett Bush, Jason Wilde, Rob Demovsky, and more throughout.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Sunday morning from 9 till kickoff, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
I'm fading the New York Jets. I don't have any belief that this DavanteAdams move is going to put them over the top. While I recognize from an X's and O's standpoint why they did it and how it could make them better, I also recognize there is a downside to this thing. Like, we keep talking about, oh, yeah, well, now you got Davante and Garrett Wilson's going to get one-on-one, so he's going to get the ball and get more opportunities to display what a talent he is. Are we sure that's going to happen?
No.
Because right now we live in a world where Allen Lazard has more touchdown catches than Garrett Wilson. How does that make sense? Do you think there are going to be more opportunities with DavanteAdams here? So AaronRodgers has two guys that he's comfortable with? That's the part that bothers me a little bit with this, because I can see how there could be tension, especially with some of the younger guys that have been there, not getting the opportunities to produce in the way that Rodgers and his friends will.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor.
Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursdays.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive.
She's in VFib. 1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 7, I had a great time. Every day, I would come home, go to my grandma's house, and listen to disco music with her. Our favorite song was Hot Stuff, and I still know every single word.
Oh, my.
Come on, Ben.
You got it.
Sing it now.
Sitting here eating my heart out, waiting for some lover to call. Dial about 1,000 numbers lately, almost rang the phone off the wall. Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight.
Go ahead, sing, boy.
I need some hot stuff, baby, this evening.
Come on.
Gotta have some hot stuff, gotta have some love tonight. I need hot stuff. Hot stuff.
So
I did sing this at weddings.
If that wasn't enough to get you into the musical, you must have been full of a bunch of Hollywood stars at
that voice
place.
wasn't getting picked up any record labels. Kyle, you like Disco Ben?
I do like Disco Ben.
That's gonna be the vibe of the wedding.
Ooh. Open bar?
I knew I wanted to attend.
Not the entire vibe, but, my dad was a disco dance teacher back in the day, so I'm going to have to pay some homage to my father so he can dance with his cane.
I'll take pictures for you, Trophy. I'll add you on Snappity Chat.
Snappity Chat.
Strofe at the door trying to get in, just like my dream.
I'll crash the wedding if I don't get invited. I'll just be on the dance floor dancing. Nobody will know.
Hey, Strofe, welcome to the party. Sorry you missed the nice meal.
When did you get here?
Been here the whole time.
I've been on the dance floor since 6 p.m. What do you mean?
800-990-3776. Oh, I'm in my feels with hot stuff right now. I need hot stuff. Oh, is this the guitar?
So, can I ask a question?
Of course.
You said your grandmother who liked this, or?
Yes, my grandmother.
So,
she was part of my autobiography.
Is that your dad's mom then?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one that passed away.
That's my grandma who died.
R.I.P. But the interesting thing about some of this stuff is when I think about music and, things parents used to listen to, what is hot stuff? What is you looking for some hot stuff? What does that mean?
Hey.
I am not here to talk about the birds and the bees. I'm here to talk about the Green Bay Packers.
No, I'm just saying, Grandma was looking for some hot stuff.
Hey.
Oh, wow. I'm just kidding, Ben.
Excuse you?
No, she found Grandpa. It's good.
She would beat your bottom.
She probably would.
Sure would.
Italian woman.
Oh, yeah. She didn't play.
She feisty.
She didn't play.
As I move on from the excerpt here of when I was 7 listening to Hot Stuff, unfortunately, number 8 starts. When I was 8, a very special person passed away in my life. My grandmother had a brain tumor. She was very sick and she died. My friends and I won a 3-on-3 basketball tournament during the summer when my grandma died. I was really busy that summer, and I also got asked to play on a travel basketball team. All of my friends were on the team, and we were undefeated. Even though my grandma passed away, I had a great time when I was 8.
When you were 8.
It was a great, best time. It's a roller coaster ride. Every paragraph is just an unprompted roller coaster ride. It's a shift of pain, and then you got
yes, Josh from Heartland. I would sing Hot Stuff with my grandma, as Kyle was alluding to.
Well, if something was missing from you, because usually you're supposed to say, we ended up winning, and I think my grandma may have, done something to help. But no, Vince, he's not connecting the two. He's like, well, despite her being gone.
I hadn't gotten to the details of storytelling.
Yeah, that's
that was in 6th grade.
That's
they had to teach me that in 6th grade. Let's go to Alex Strofe.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Tom Brady now officially a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Smart investment. Vegas ain't going anywhere.
Dynamite drop in.
Thank you.
Smart investment. Vegas ain't going anywhere.
City never sleeps.
It's New York.
That's not Vegas.
That's funny. I was gonna bat eye.
Hey, the Big Apple.
Brad, you're getting good at this. You're getting good at this whole quick wit thing.
I'm learning.
That's New York, you idiot. That's how I heard it from Brad.
Isn't that where the Eiffel Tower is?
Might as well be, right? There is one in Vegas, though.
There is. And the Statue of Liberty.
New York. The city never sleeps in Vegas.
Yeah. Wow.
Casino never shuts down.
Stayed at the New York ones.
Cool.
Anyway, Tom Brady now a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Should he be allowed to call games as an owner?
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
He's a minority owner. He's not doing anything.
I mean, obviously, he got approved by the league, so he's not going to get any inside information. And if he
he's going to get inside information.
Well, if he shares any inside information, then he's going to get fired, and the Fox will
he's kind of mid as an announcer, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's kind of average.
I want my boy G-Reg back.
G-Reg Olsen back in there. I agree.
Oh, y'all like Greg like that, huh?
Yeah. He's a really good analyst.
I thought it was good.
We're friends.
Tom Brady's a robot.
Yeah, Tom's trying.
He'll get better, though, right?
Yeah, give him a shot.
I mean, he gets better at anything he puts his mind to. I mean, clearly.
I thought I saw that
See those combine pictures?
He undergoes a lot of restrictions now as an owner. Like, you can't attend another practice of another team. Like, you can't do all these things.
Oh, I'm sure he's so upset he can't do more work.
But like, how is he supposed to prep? How is he going to do a production meeting with an opposing coach?
I'm make a call. I don't know. It's not my business. I could care less. I could. But I like Tony Romo better. I like him.
Tony Romo's the worst.
No, he's not.
Tony
You're just a
Romo's
hater.
so divisive.
No,
he's not even divisive. He's just
He's
bad.
energetic. He's not bad. I like him.
Oh, did his knee go down bad?
So he's so good.
Up until the end, that wasn't a half bad Romo. You'll be thrilled to learn then, Benny. Jim Nance, Tony Romo on the call this weekend.
Well, I love my guy, Jim Nance. Jim Nance, my guy.
Tony's going to be tough. Oh, look
He's
at that throw.
Literally carrying Tony Romo on his shoulders.
Well, it's an interesting combination because Nance is like smooth.
Jim Nance is my friend.
He's smooth as
We've
butter.
exchanged texts.
Oh, wow.
We'll text him this week. Get him on.
You know, I could do that.
Do it, yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Should probably come up with that a little bit sooner.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Reliving my autobiography, of course.
Wow, we have the priorities on KBN.
Did you guys see this this situation out in Oregon as Dan Lanning, the head coach of the Ducks, they ended up beating Ohio State this past week, a really fun football game. But he sent 12 players on the field to shed time off the clock at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The NCAA has now closed that loophole, essentially, changing the rules. Smart play by Lanning, though, right?
Just like
absolutely
they've
smart
already
play.
changed it?
Yeah, they already changed it.
Wow. Oh, yeah, brilliant play. I mean, this is like Belichick stuff.
It was legal. He didn't do anything wrong. Maybe
No.
the integrity comes into question,
You
but
ain't cheating,
maybe.
you ain't trying,
You ain't
is that what
cheating,
they
you
say?
ain't trying. I'm all for it.
Think of all the
and
people.
at Oregon +3 and a little sprinkle on the money line.
Think of all the people that like comb through the rules to try to find a loophole, and nobody's found this one except for him, and he implemented it at the right time.
I mean, it's not even a
Implement.
loophole. It's just simply saying, hey, let's just put another guy out there because all that's going to happen is they're going to call us for a penalty. But guess what? After they call us for the penalty, we have a one-player advantage, and they lose time on a clock. You don't get time back on a clock because of that. The play happened. So it's genius.
Brilliant.
Powerful.
Brilliant.
Pretty good stuff. DavanteAdams expected to play this Sunday night for the New York Jets after being traded.
Just ask Kyle
yesterday.
this question.
Am I watching?
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch. I was
Love is Blind or Sunday Night Football?
I'm going to watch this week because it's DavanteAdams and it's AaronRodgers getting the old curmudgeon-y band back together. I'm going to watch, and I'm interested to see.
Over to the the KBN Sports Desk.
Our friend Jen Latta just won.
She
on the
won!
round.
Hey!
Her fourth win
Win
in her
number
11th
four.
appearance.
That's a pretty good win percentage on Around the Horn. 36.4% win percentage.
And it's at ESPN Milwaukee. Look at all that. Putting the 414 in the city.
I'll see Jen Latta at Potawatomi Casino Hotel for the weekly wager.
You
at
better
6 o'clock.
congratulate her on her win.
Nah.
Well, she's coming in with a hot hand. She might win you some money.
Yeah, betting versus bringing knowledge and information to a ESPN sports talk show is a little different.
Dang.
Who's the best? You guys have a little chart, don't you? Who's winning right now?
We all won. We all won last week. Greg Matzik is 4-2. Jen and I are 3-3 in our best bets.
Weekly wager 6 to 7. ESPN Milwaukee.
I might have a best bet for you guys separate from what I will be betting at the weekly wager. But first, I got to give everyone an opportunity to get a part of what is the best Sweetest Day giveaway you could ever come up with. Courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist, because someone in your life needs to feel extra happy and extra special on Sweetest Day. And you can get that right here on 94.5 ESPN. Now through October 20th, you have 4 days. Head to Welke'sSweetestDay.com to register for your chance to win a Sweetest Days prize pack, which is a bouquet of flowers from Welke's Milwaukee Florist, a $100 gift card to the Pfister, and a one-night stay at the Pfister. That is an unbelievable package that you can have at Welke'sSweetestDay.com. Go there for full contest rules and your chance to register to win. You can also see the QR code on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. You can scan that or go to Welke'sSweetestDay.com for your chance to win that unbelievable Sweetest Day prize pack. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. We have to tie a bow on this Brandon McManus thing because I think people are still impatient after what has been Anders Carlson and Braden Narvison. Maybe a little best bet. Definitely Homer. All that and more. Till 6 o'clock next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 43. Going to be a heavy ride from before Hampton Avenue all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge, all the way down to the KK River crossing. Northbound on 4394, looks like right about at National Avenue, we've got a broken down vehicle on the right shoulder just before you get onto the high-rise bridge. It's going to be solid all the way up to just south of Keefe, where there's an accident that's blocking the right lane. Give yourself lots of extra time if you do have to go through there. Westbound 94 slowing from 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side is slowing down from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. And then we've got some backups 41 southbound from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange down to Lincoln, and then Beloit Road down and around the Hale onto 894 eastbound. Northbound backups are around Mayfair Road all the way up towards Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ for Storm Team forecast tonight, clear and chilly. Frost inland with a low of 37 at the lake, 32 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and nice, a high of 64. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Sarah, do you know what Monica has cooked up for Sweetest Day?
Here she comes. Let's ask her.
Monica, we were wondering what you've cooked up for Sweetest Day.
Imagine a pendant with the classic perfect Valentine's heart, the kind a grade school boy would draw for his girlfriend.
Okay, so what makes it special?
The heart is made of bright cherry red ceramic, and it's surrounded by 18 tiny little newborn diamonds.
Ceramic?
18 diamonds?
Yeah, cherry red ceramic with 18 newborn diamonds, and it's only $128.
I don't know how many of those we made, but we didn't make enough. What else have we got?
A long stem American Beauty rose, 100% natural.
Why would someone come to Kessler's for that?
Because our full-size American Beauty roses are preserved forever under a shimmering layer of pure 24-karat gold.
Kessler's Gold Roses are back!
And they're just $99 for Sweetest Day.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value in life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tusher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
We're back. I'm so excited. I got so much stuff to talk about.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Would Giannis start Team USA?
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
How are you going to eat seven hot dogs?
There's no way, but it's hard to pass up a good deal.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
This is like top tier. This is when you see him on fire.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. And now, a reading from Ben Brust's 3rd grade autobiography.
When I was 11, which I still am, a sad thing happened. First, I got to go to the Bahamas with my mom's side of the family. We stayed at Atlantis, and we had a great time. After vacation, Mr. Hannon, who was the assistant principal at Hersey, died. He really admired me and my brother and was gonna wait for me to come to Hersey High School.
He was gonna wait for me.
After he died, my travel basketball team ended the year with a 34-5 record. I'm still alive.
Alive and well.
Just so much to unpack right there. He really admired me and my brother. The sole purpose of this man's life was to keep the Brust brothers.
Brad's getting good at being mean. This is amazing.
Yeah, but the great thing is, after he died, guess what? My soccer team went 35-5.
Yeah, I got over it quickly. And he's thankful that he's alive, not like the assistant principal.
Hey, Ben, what was Mr. Hannon's first name?
John.
Pretty good. A lot of Johns.
Is that right?
I sure as hell hope so.
Oh, my God.
Ben Brust, we're not going back on this. We're not going. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brandon Nortman. UKVN Nation getting a look into my life. Man. I'm going to have to look that one up in a second here because Brad's going to tell us how much patience we should have with Brandon McManus, the Packers' new kicker.
Yeah, this is a specialist PSA of sorts, guys. You know, as a specialist myself, I can understand where fans might be impatient because seemingly on the surface, which is true, they only have one job to do. But I'm here to tell Packer fans, and hopefully to tell Brian Gutekunst and the rest of the Packer organization, we should reset our patience tank, right? It is not fair, and it's not even healthy for you to take, and for anyone to take, like the frustration from Carlson to Narveson now to McManus, right? If McManus misses a kick on Sunday, you can't treat it like he was the one missing all along. This is your best option. There are no better options than Brandon McManus when it comes to a kicker on the football field for the Green Bay Packers. So this has to be the most satisfactory option for Packer Nation. So if he struggles early or if he misses a kick here or there, don't let the impatience or frustration that you experience with Daniel Carlson and Braden Narveson to cascade.
You forgot the band's name. Call him Daniel.
And snowball. I said it right, Kyle.
You said Anders. You said Daniel, not Anders.
I said Daniel.
Yeah, but it's okay because that's the good one.
Way in the past.
That's the good. No, that's the good one.
Don't let it snowball into Brandon McManus. Right, the man is restarting his career today with the Green Bay Packers. Yesterday, I guess. So refill your patience tank. It'll be good for your stress levels. It'll be good for your health. And that's the only way.
I thought I was good with this take, but I don't know if I am.
Oh no! Why is this?
Because
it's not McManus's fault that the guys in front of him stunk.
Yeah, but it also will be McManus's fault if he misses a kick.
But if he misses, I'm saying if he goes out the first week or two, misses one kick, we can't have. But
what if he misses a kick each game?
Okay, that's a problem.
I mean, how many games are we talking?
But I'm just saying, even if he misses in this first game, it's like, well, we had this with Narveson.
But yeah,
so why should my patience tank? Because if Goody's saying we're going all in by getting this guy and making sure we have a veteran kicker that can deliver for us, and he doesn't deliver.
Because it's a different kicker, small sample size, and he's the best available. There's no other, at least with Narveson and Carlson, you could say, what are we doing? There's other people available. This is the best available.
See, this is where I think you hit it, right? It's because he is the best available kicker out there. Because if he does not work out and he fails, more than likely there's not somebody out there that's going to be more consistent, because if they were, they would already be signed to a roster. Rob joined us and he said it perfectly. He was signed. He was on a team. He was on Washington, and then the events happened, and now he got cleared by the NFL, and he is the best available kicker out there. And the Green Bay Packers went out there and got the best guy that they potentially could. If he does not work out, more than likely no kicker's going to work out in this 2024 NFL season, and you go back to the drawing board in 2025. But for right now, I'm with you. You got to be patient because he's a veteran. He's been tested. He's made game-winning kicks. He's kicked in different elements. This is the guy that we have to lean on and we have to be patient with.
Yeah, he better make kicks.
Ben?
Yeah,
you're the specialist guy. You're the self-admitted. You are being indoctrinated into the specialist community.
Okay, slow down.
Yeah, no,
being not slow.
I am Brad's special team's understudy right now.
Yes, indeed.
But when it comes to where the Packers are right now, this isn't the start of the season. They're going through a stretch in which they're facing 4 out of 5 quality opponents. So that's where, this is where I'm adding into the context of you're in the middle of a season where you're 4-2. The Vikings are 5-0. The Vikings are 4-1. The Bears are 4-2. All 4 teams in your division. There is not a lot of room for error right now, and so that is why I don't like to. I will have. I just don't like. You're almost saying like you need to have more patience than normal. I think you can have patience, but you're making it seem like you're trying to give him a pass.
No, I'm not trying to give him a pass. I'm just foreseeing.
No, you're protecting him. And then, as your understudy, I just have to challenge you.
No, but this is what happened a little bit with Narveson, right? I think the Packer fans were a little bit scarred from Carlson missing important kicks in consecutive games. Then right away when he missed in Philadelphia, or I guess in Brazil, everyone was like, oh, whoa, here we go. I don't want that reaction, right? I just want a steady hand, let the man come in here, get back into game. If he misses multiple kicks in multiple weeks, yeah, then we're having a problem. But let's not freak out this week if one kick is missed.
800-990-3776. We welcome in the most downer call I've ever heard after a dominant win for the Green Bay Packers, which you heard on the Green Bay Game Day postgame show across ESPN Wisconsin, 620 WTMJ with Homer and Tausch. It's Phil in Cedarburg. Welcome in, Phil. Are you feeling positive today?
I'm always positive. I'm just a realist. I'm a positive realist.
Hell with that. I heard that call live, and I was like, Phil, what's wrong? You need a hug?
Well, I just didn't think. I thought Arizona played terrible. Lots of fumbles, lots of penalties. I didn't think the game was like this amazing victory that they were making it out to be. But yeah, it's fine. It was nice. We won. Yay. But I don't think that.
Real positive realist.
No, I can call you Phil Dobbs with that one. Because Romeo Dobbs wasn't excited after scoring touchdowns.
Oh wow.
No, I was happy for Dobbs, but Dobbs. I'm not Dobbs, man. Dobbs is the guy that needs some love. I don't know why.
I think you need love too. But what's your point for the call? 800-990-3776. Go, Phil.
Yeah. So there's always a way to get a kicker. There's got to be a team. I haven't looked at this, analyzed this, but there's going to be a bad team that has a good kicker that we could trade a 6th or 7th round pick and grab that guy from. There's going to be a team that would love to get some draft capital for their kicker if they.
Thank you, Phil in Cedarburg. We've discussed this a little bit. I'll turn it over to Brad, our specialist here. As yes, he's not wrong. There are bad teams with good kickers, but why would
who's trading for a kicker?
Have we seen this? Is this precedented?
Are people trading for kickers?
Kickers have been traded before.
Usually it takes like an injury, right, to actually trade for a kicker. But the reality is, even if you're a bad team, you still want to hold on to your kicker because then you're going to be just like the Green Bay Packers. If you're a bad team, there's already a lot of fires to put out.
For your earlier example, a lot of holes in the dam.
A lot of holes in the dams, a lot of pots boiling over on the stovetop. You don't want to actively add another because if you remove a good kicker, you're going to be right where the Packers are, trying to just hope and guess every year that someone in the draft is going to do it, and you keep on taking stabs for it. Coaches want to set it and forget it when it comes to specialists. So if you have them, you keep them.
Speaking of the Green Bay Game Day postgame show, you must listen when the clock strikes 0 because Homer and Tausch break down everything, including who the dog of the game is. And if your dogs don't always listen to you, and you ask yourself, why don't they listen to what I say? Look no further than Sit Mean Sit. You can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog. So contact Sit Mean Sit Dog Training in Milwaukee or Waukesha to schedule a free consultation. That's sitmeansit.com and check out their Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. Speaking of Homer, he's next to me. It's Wednesday. Oh, baby, he's next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
When I'm, again, doing the Pack Arena, and as a shareholder, when I'm sizing up my ring,
do the Pack Arena right now.
1 packer, 2 packer, 3 packer arena.
Hey. What's the rest of the words? Jordan Love to Christian Watson. Nay, that's a touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Hauntingly good deals await you at the Kunis Auto Group's October Spooktacular Savings Event. There will be no tricks, only treats.
Trick or treat!
On the price you'll get on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Prices will be slashed at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealership. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC. All marked down with October Spooktacular Savings discounts and incentives, including their entire inventory of pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 on lot or online. There'll be dozens of spooktacular service specials and everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with any test drive in October, you'll be entered to win free gas for a year, with drawings held every Friday throughout the month at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis dealerships in both Greenfield and Oak Creek. Halloween savings aren't just slashed, they're chainsawed at the Kunis Auto Group's October Spooktacular Savings Event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopkunis.com.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. Complimentary football, the name of the game in Wisconsin's 42-7 runaway at Rutgers over the weekend. The Badgers' physicality sure left an impression on ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher. Tausch's comments on the Green Bay game night postgame show.
The physicalness and what Wisconsin was able to do on offense, now you have to continue to maintain it, but it was an old-fashioned physical beatdown of epic proportions yesterday.
Pella's windows and doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for up to 36 months at PellaWI.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Radio legend.
I don't care. I wanted to talk to Brent Musburger. That was for my own personal benefit. I hope other people enjoyed it, but I wish I was Brent Musburger. How about that?
Voice of Marquette basketball.
Joplin to the basket. He dumps it. Hammer time.
And owner of the most famous catchphrase, at least in this building.
Oh, baby, that's sweet.
It's time for Uncle Homer on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Robert Hack Diamonds. Visit them at their Greenfield or Brookfield locations or online at RobertHackDiamonds.com.
Oh, baby is right, because you have a chance to go to Robert Hack Diamonds, where if she wants a diamond, that's where you got to go. Some of these places are going, hey, we can give you $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack, so make sure you visit them, and when you get their price, you can go look around, because you're not going to find a better price. It's where I went to go get my engagement ring. It was absolutely amazing, whether it's real, mine from the ground, that's what I got, or if you have a lab-grown, they will make it happen for you. Visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield. Leslie in the Greenfield location was fantastic, and her team will help take care of you. That's RobertHackDiamonds.com. Joining Kyle, Brust, and Nortman before the Homer Hour is Homer himself. What's up, Homer?
Well, I wanted to check with Kyle because I think I can solve the concern people have about how happy Romeo Doubs is.
Okay. Well, why just Kyle?
I would have said to him, if I had given him consultation, when they asked him why he's not happy after the game, he should have said, I am okay, in honor of the greatness of Eddie Murphy being Buckwheat from Saturday Night Live. Now, I'm afraid that not everybody would appreciate it because they're not old enough, and I don't want to be thought of as racist, so I had to check to Kyle. So what do you think?
You just call him Buckwheat?
No, not Buckwheat. Eddie Murphy's Buckwheat, which was legendary. His hair was exactly like it, and I think everybody would have thought it was spectacular.
Homer, you know what? You should be in the ribbon line. You would have made it in high school around here by just ribbing people, because that would have been that's a rib, making fun of them.
Is that a rib?
Yeah, that's ribbing. You ribbed him.
So you'd be making fun of him.
Okay, that's why I asked. Yeah, I don't think it is.
I don't think he would appreciate it. I think he would have said, "Oh."
Privately, he wouldn't have taken that advice.
Based off what we know,
this isn't very private right now.
What?
This isn't very. This isn't a private forum.
I know, but I thought if I would say like, Romeo, you only got to say one line, and they'll leave you alone, and everybody will smile and think it's fantastic. But clearly not.
If Romeo had a personality,
I know, but he only needs it once.
Yeah,
and he's not him. He's copying Eddie Murphy.
I mean, I see it. I mean, maybe in like 1998.
That was my concern. It's been too long.
Maybe in 1998.
I'm not sure that young people would appreciate it.
No, we would. I know I wouldn't have.
Okay.
I wouldn't have.
All right.
known.
Okay, good. And we can move on. By the way, the guy's the kicker for the rest of the year. He can miss the next 2 kicks, and he's still the kicker. It's over.
I agree.
Are you satisfied with the kicker option?
They should have done this. You know this. When you have a coach who's soft, the next coach is hard. The mistake they made after a young kicker is they should have got an experienced one. That's all they're doing right now is we're not going to make the same mistake 3 times in a row. Now, what they should have done is probably after they got rid of Carlson, they should have gotten Joseph because he would have been that. But they wanted to go young twice in a row, and now this guy, it's done. It's over.
I think they ended up in a better place. A kicker that I feel like isn't decent.
Oh, no, it's a better place. Yeah. They had to wait till all the stuff blew over from his problems off the field. They could have never taken him back then because the court case was still on. The judge threw it out. The 2 women have filed another court case.
Civil suit.
No, I don't know.
It was a civil suit.
Yeah, I think they've tried to go back to court. Now the judge will have to decide if they'll do it again. So it might be back in court. But either way, they had to go. The NFL has done all their work and stuff like that. So they would have. It's still iffy by Packer standards, but there was enough time. He's the best kicker by far.
Homer joins us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Their next 5, home against the Texans, at the Jags, home against the Lions, at the Bears, home against the Niners. What's their record after those 5 games?
Whatever you want it to be. I don't care.
What do you mean? What do you mean don't care?
Your job is to tell us what you think.
Here's what I'm telling you. This team is fine. You just get better. They can have ups and downs. They can play with anybody. It's all going to be
1-4 are not good. That means if the Packers end up 1-4 in this stretch, that's not good.
Fine. Then what will they be then? They're going to make the playoffs. Nothing matters but what they do in the playoffs. The year they won the Super Bowl in 2010, they were a 6th seed.
It's an anomaly, though.
What?
It's an anomaly.
It is.
Hey.
But this is a young team. They can have ups and downs.
That ain't making
what
the
everybody
playoffs.
needs to know, the only reason there were 4 teams in the division above 500 is because they haven't played each other. There's only been one game. If there had been more games, you wouldn't have what we're talking about now. So it's all a math thing.
How important is it to winning the division in your eyes? Or is it just getting in and going from there?
Be nice, but not that important. I don't think Detroit is really good.
Are they?
Yes,
they're the
best team in the
really
NFC.
good.
They would be the best team in the NFC and will be once they make a trade to get somebody to take
I'm excited to see. They're good. They're really good. The way they beat up on the Cowboys.
But part of that is the Cowboys. It's hard to believe the Cowboys are horrible.
They suck.
Cowboys are Jacksonville.
They're
that bad.
They suck. And so
they got 2. They got a good quarterback and a good wide receiver.
I feel like Detroit is still a little inflated when you see how they played before this game. They had some close wins against, like the close win against the Cardinals. The defense struggled a little bit, but they're a really good football team. But I don't think they're what they did against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are actually good. That's runaway going to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're runaway going to the Super Bowl quite yet.
I would agree.
No, they're not runaway, but they won the division last year. They went to the NFC Championship game last year, and they've came back and continue to drive home how good they are every single week.
Yeah, they're the best team in the NFC because San Francisco, unless McCaffrey comes back, they're just not the same.
I agree with that. I'm not concerned about them, though. Quite yet. We'll see.
You're not concerned about the Lions?
No, not yet. I got to see a little bit more. But again, that butt whooping of
Are
the
you more
Cowboys-
concerned about the Packers or the Lions?
Oh, am I more concerned about the Packers or the Lions? I'm more concerned about the Packers.
I understand that, but like you're saying you're not concerned about the Lions. Who do you think is more feared in the NFL, the Lions or the Packers?
Equally feared.
No, come on.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Did y'all hear what the coach DeMeco Ryan said? He said Jordan Love is the best quarterback.
Right. What team's he playing this week?
He's saying it because
did he say it 2 weeks
Bill
ago?
Belichick
The Arizona Cardinals were shaking in their boots coming up to Green Bay last week because they knew what they were going up against. The Green
That's
Bay
called
Packers
respecting
feared as
They
the
were worried about the
opponent.
officiating
Oh,
crew.
it's called fearing
That's
a
what they
good
were worried
dang
about.
team.
Understandably so were there.
Lions are good.
20 calls against Arizona? What was it?
20.
I mean, they shot themselves in the foot.
They did.
Homer Hour with Rain Man. You got Jason? TBV?
Yes. And Tim Van Born, yes.
That's in 2 minutes.